There we go. There we go. Hopefully this thing is not breaking, because I haven't actually done one of these in a little bit. And, why are you live again? Queh? I don't know. It's BullScrap. Is that a VTuber model? No, it's a puppet. What do you think it is? I must stay this time. Oh, that's great. Yes. Also, this is a newer one. I make these. I just make random ones all the time, and this one I just decided to make overnight, which I finally did because he has fangs finally, which is what I have. Yeah. Oh well. This is basically using the software that to make these little avatars is the most accurate I could make myself. But then again, it's fucking anime models, so it's not really accurate. Period. So, oh. Mm. I do not sound great. Oh. Oh well. Anime, yes, yes. I'll be just talking about those a little bit, as well as a few other things, because I honestly have no plans. You sound fine. I sound tired. I sound dead. Um, but I'm just tired because I know tomorrow I'm going to be going to a truck and tractor pull derby, so that's gonna be fine. Wait, is this the podcast? Yes. Yes, usually I drag someone on. But usually, this is where I talk about politics and shit. This is my bread and butter. Yeah, this is the chaos. Usually, I'd have on the other side of my screen rather a picture of the guest I'd bring on, or a video of them, well, live. That are just using a OBS Ninja, which helps using these models over a simple program. But I don't have it, so may you join. Alright, I'll move my my voice, to the community hangout to see. Alright, yeah. There we go. So, yes. Community hangout. I'll be there. Just don't say anything too fucked up. Give me like a minute. That's grand, yeah. Alright. And I'm realizing currently I've actually been growing out my hair, trying to not really match this model just because, one, I really like actually having longer hair. Just because why not? I can't. I have family. Oh, ah, Sag. Oh. Well, I'm gonna go on about something. Something is gonna. First thing that pops into my head: the Canadian flag. I say that because I look to my over here, so I can only talk PG. Yeah, that's fine. Uh, the Canadian flag, which actually it's a very interesting story how many versions of the Canadian flag was submitted before they settled on the maple leaf. But oh well. At least it was a simpler process than the United States, which had how many times did they change that flag? It's changed a lot as they changed it. Like more states, they add more stars, more territories. I think they add more stripes. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not fucking American. I don't worship it, so I wouldn't know exactly. And anyway, shit, you're having difficulties, aren't we all? Aren't we all? All right, let me just check the alert. Microphone. Okay, I don't know if the alerts work, but since the this thing near my head, which is now blocking it, is there, so it works. Give you a few minutes, grand. Also, it's the table. That's literally where it ends, so I have to keep it there. And then the microphone cuts off immediately. So okay, that's going to bother me in post-production, but oh well. Anyway, what should I talk about? One thing I've been meaning to actually talk to someone about, which was which is something I talk about a lot, which is the courts and how People say it is unbiased and during the year. Currently, since the last, how many? 90 years. 90 to 100 years or so, it's been rapidly changing environment. Compared to the previous 100 years before that, I'll appear eventually, I'm listening. Yeah, that's great. That's good. Excuse me. Uh, there's a, I've mentioned this a lot with how it rapidly, again, with how rapidly the courts change as well as laws making, as well as a few other events and parades. You may see like difference from 10 or 20 years ago to now. I don't know. It's funny to me because I've seen a few parades where like a few years ago they were just like, oh yeah, they're tossing candy, yeah, just a few little thing. And then a few years back, which I was on one of the parades in one of my cities. Well, as it was going past, I hatched on for that one city I was currently living in, and they were tossing out. Half of them were actual real phones, giving out real phones, and half of them were fake, saying go buy them at our store. I don't think that store's even open anymore, cause God, because the float they had there, literally they had people there, to make sure it didn't fly the fuck away, and I was one of those people, and also helping with just delivering some of the boxes of phones and fake phones. Just to let you all know, like, 5 of them were real, the rest of them weren't. Even though we were told like 50-50, even though they were not 50-50. It's hilarious. Anyway, uh, it's for profit. Yeah, I know that's for profit, but they told the employees it's 50-50, and it doesn't. Plus, the people that shop. I mean, honestly, those were sketchy motherfuckers. Not just for that little thing, which I can understand. Profit, it gets people's attention. They don't need to fucking tell the truth. They're a business. They don't tell the truth. But it's also, they were shady. They didn't even pay their employees that much. Like, sketchy as fuck. Like, I get like missing a check or two, but when you miss nearly every single damn check, yeah, it's a pain in the upright ass. Bro, also, I'm realizing with what I've got here, missing checks is so wrong. Yes. Also, that's not how I spell check. Cheque. Then again, we spell it correctly since we're in Canada, not America, so what do you expect? And yeah, I've been doing a lot of fucking yard work recently. It's been a pain in my ass. Canadian, yes. Hasn't that been obvious? No one loves Canadians. Well, I'm sorry. Well, especially the Alaskans, due to them being on the left of Alaska is Russia, an unsuccessful war criminal. On the right is Canada, the successful war criminal. I mean, have you seen Canada's history during the World Wars? Like, holy shit. Like, I mentioned that a lot, and I always will, of how, like, the one Canadian sniper, one-eyed, took out fucking entire town. It's amazing. And how, it didn't, technically in the report it says 2, but that's because his buddy died. But still. And then, again, there was that British madman that rode around on a fucking motorcycle shooting Germans with a bow, which, what the fuck? As well as a sword, which, if you thought the Canadians were weird, have you seen the British? Or, I think it was a Scottish, I can't remember exactly. Still, though, when you look at any war, there's been always crazy shit that happens, especially, like, as mentioned before, I'm pretty sure, not during this stream, but many streams before, which was the World War II, no, this was during the Korean, no, I'm getting confused. I'll mention the Korean warship, but I'll mention the one during World War II. When they were bombing the beaches, before the invasion started of D-Day, since none of the battleships could actually hit their targets, they got one of the battleships, flooded half the ship, and could gangster lean the ship to the side so they could hit all the shots on target. That was the only battleship to hit all their targets when they flooded half the ship and gangster leaned the bitch.
I've actually heard that story.
Yes. Have
Where
you heard?
they leaned it because didn't they get hit by like a small artillery shell and then they just bombarded
Oh
the
no,
area
that
by
was a
leaning
second story
half?
I was going to
That
mention.
no no
The
no
Korean War.
that was the
Yes, where another ship would say afterwards, temper, temper. Pretty sure that was it, yes.
oh yeah. And that reminds me, there was also another story where they accidentally fired at a boat that was holding the. This was a different battleship, I think, or some other ship that accidentally shot at a ship that was holding the president.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. You'd be surprised with how much how many times in U.S. history they almost killed their own fucking president.
Some of them were successful,
Yeah.
sadly.
Mm.
Open up the screen.
Oh
Hold on.
well. And I was looking up a little bit of the Americans and their tanks because, tanks across the world are very much differently, and how there was one book which I will not name because it was the worst book to ever fucking release about tanks, said that the Shermans, which were one of the best tanks in the world, I'd say at the time during the Second World War, was a death trap. And no, the Sherman was,
Shermans were good. What?
yeah, it was it's probably the best at the time of World War II, the most survivable tank. And the shitty ass book said, "Hey, it wasn't," and I'm just like, and I'm saying bullshit to that. Then
What
again,
tank?
there's, yeah,
What tank did they say was good?
yeah, because later on modifications they would have, of course, the spring that would, which is pretty much to open the hatches. You just pull the spring, pop, hatches open, you jump out. One of the easiest to get out of tanks. Try to get out like a British tank doing the same method. You'll bash your head in trying to get out. Or like a T-34. Have you ever tried to crawl out the front of a T-34? Fucking painful.
The T-34s were not safe. They were just mass produced.
Oh yeah, those are perfect wars for those are perfect weapons for total war, because during the war they saw, okay, a tank would last on average this long, so the parts will not last longer than that. So it pretty much made them cheaper and cheaper throughout the war, and that by the end of the
Hmm.
war they costed maybe 50,000. Even
That's
then,
so cheap.
yes, but modern
That
day
costs as
standards,
much as
modern
it
day
costs.
standards with inflation that'll be millions of dollars, but back then still
Well,
cheap as fuck.
for a tank.
Yeah,
It's not like a car, it's a tank.
yeah, damn
For
right.
that price, ooh.
Yeah, and I've I gotta say I've had the pleasure of sitting inside of a T-34 before, like a T-34-85. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. And can I just say, I'm not the tallest of men, but I'm gonna tell you that thing is a fucking tight squeeze for me.
Well, it was made for efficiency, not for comfort.
Oh no, like if you're gonna be like the loader, you better be the smallest gremlin on the existence of this planet. Like holy shit.
Probably actually what they looked for.
Ooh,
Thinking
yeah.
anything.
Well, due to the starvation of the country, they got smaller, like North Korea has been getting. Like North Korea's been trying for a while to, get a lot of food. What the fuck? Homest the qua? No. Oh, I've also been seeing a bit more of the North Koreans' military, like at least a few photos of it. Just stream. All right, let me just. I'll do that while I'm trying to talk about the North Koreans, which I find that they do a lot of the martial arts training, which I find hilarious. Which I realize why is because they can't afford fucking ammo.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, yeah, but that training doesn't really show much. Like, yeah, you guys are tough, but can they use a gun? Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah. I remember when their the premier first two divisions, like during COVID first started, they said, "Oh no, they're just sick. They got fucking COVID." The top of the line divisions protecting their fucking supreme leader got sick.
Dang, that's ooh, oh, that's not a good thing.
Oh no, yeah, it's not.
It's like if the Secret Service got sick.
Oh yeah, yeah. Difference with the difference between the Secret Service and the first two premier divisions. The first two premier divisions, they're actually military and they're conscripted. The Secret Service are all, of course, volunteered and paid.
Hmm.
Period. They get paid. That's the thing. As well as they
I,
know what they're
I, I,
protecting.
I would not like my protection to be conscripted because I would not know how loyal they would be if an
Yeah.
actual thing happened.
Yeah. But due to their conscription, you'd actually have to do extra work and extra things to give them incentive to not shoot you in the fucking head. So it's
Hmm.
more expensive to do it like that. But then again, the North Korea and just it's complicated between the two wars since the Second Korean War started, and the first one as well. It's
Was that my Discord? Or was that yours?
I didn't get a single ping yet. Well,
Oh, that's
of
totally
course.
mine.
Yeah. I
I can't see them, so.
no. I remember it was a while back. I think it was a year or two ago. I was talking to one. It was one of the teachers. Now he became a substitute teacher after leaving the South Korean military. And boy, do I hear some stories from that. And why I consider I'd rather be deployed in Afghanistan for 20 years than go through a service in South Korea.
How bad is it?
Okay, so in a training exercise, that's supposed to be, in a United States training exercise, you probably won't die. You know,
What did you... Oh, yeah, probably.
yeah.
Probably.
South Korean, you'd probably die or get severely maimed, suffer
Yeah,
hypothermia.
it's like a
Like,
50-50.
heard the chants,
No,
and
it's
this guy
probably
was,
less
I
than
think, it was a
50-50.
hazard guy. He was not even supposed to be a military guy. He was part of fucking Logi. And while they were in the mountains hiking, one of the guys got hypothermia. They got the heaters from their MREs to fucking save his life, but even then they almost all died. And that's a common thing up there. That exact situation has happened so much. But they're going to try to do the same thing because compared to what they are going up against, which is North Korea, which reason why they're trying to do that to keep up their training. Okay, North Koreans, it's not really the size or anything else that makes them intimidating. It's the fact they're so fucking ferocious and brainwashed. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it would be
It's just,
blind being loyalty.
okay,
I don't want to say
so
loyalty,
loyalty, yeah,
but
because their
there's something to it.
zealotry just makes them like die for the people, die for like no matter what. Just it's just sad. It's sad
Sorry,
seeing that.
I keep getting pings. Oh my
Oh yeah,
gosh.
it's fine. I
I gotta turn my Discord to do not disturb so people stop messaging me.
Then again, there's also a lot of the old generations hating each other, which you've seen the older ones go, "You haven't been through the Korean Wars, you don't understand." And yet, I'm guessing currently that the training nowadays is worse than they had back then.
To, to go through a major pandemic?
I
I
mean,
think
cause
not.
it's just I don't know. Cause I've seen a lot of veterans nowadays, like older veterans who've been through how can I describe it? Unbelievably shit situations of being disrespected. Like I've seen some veteran parades or veteran celebrations just cut short because a group of people don't like it or something. And I've seen that in my area, and I've been just taken aback by it.
Yeah, we don't have as much problem against veterans, at least where I live specifically.
Yeah,
But like I've seen in other places where veterans are just completely dishonored.
yeah,
Not a single good thing about talked about them, which does suck. Alas,
yeah. Then again, I remember the joke of Memorial Day of everyone's like, "Oh yes, thank you for your service." While actual veterans nowadays are just like, "Shut up! I just want some beer." That's not wrong. The joke is kind of right.
well, it's not wrong. The joke is right, but
Yeah.
well, there's no but.
Yeah. I remember that because my father, of course, he served in the Canadian Field Artillery, which is, not exactly frontline shit, but he's still, I don't know.
Still a thing.
Yeah. But then again, due to the Canadian military is not as large as the U.S. one, obviously.
Well,
So,
duh.
yeah, so
U.S. military.
Canadian soldiers have to do double duties. For example, a field artillery also is the infantry, and at times can also be the medic. So obviously, like how you in a squad, you have the medic and all that stuff. Meanwhile, you might have a sniper who's also the medic, and it's really hard to get around. But then again, the Canadian military, 50% of your training is in the classroom, so you're learning a shitload of stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
They
like
they teach you?
yes, they actually teach them like basic skills as well as how to proceed after to your service as well, which is honestly surprising that I've seen. But then again, it's changed since I don't think 20 or so years ago they had that, but they had a bit more of it here. Then again, due to um, population differences, standards have lowered. both due to medical as well as other just societal. So society's leaned less away from the military, I've seen.
Very much. It's
Yeah.
well, no, yeah, no, I definitely see that. Just in oh my gosh, sorry, I've been pinged this whole time,
Oh
and
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm gonna delete Discord at this point. Now I get your pain.
Yeah, you see why I just there was an old joke I had where like for fuck. I think I don't remember. I think it was Eller Deputy. They literally made a little fan out of that shit of me just yelling to the sky. Who the fuck's ping me? Because it was
I
like
am
clockwork every time.
I am now half the reason that happens because I ping you half the time when streams happen. It is hilarious. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, mate. Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do? Let there be no pings?
God. I remember there was a closest tank museum towards me has the I think it was the Stuart, the American small dinky little fucker.
It's tiny,
Yeah,
small.
it was I think it was the main battle tank in the Pacific campaign, while the Sherman was of course the main tank in the European campaign due to well, it's fucking very small corners and roads that a Sherman could probably not even fit on in the Pacific theater.
That and also because the Pacific tanks were also smaller, just in general.
Yeah.
It's
Since
kind of hard to make a big tank when there's not a lot of resources.
and there wasn't really a need to, like we could send the Sherman, it would decimate the Japanese tanks, but why would we need to? We just send a few Stuarts. Since I've mentioned the Japanese history of the tanks, and it was pretty much just one guy in his team trying to compete against the army and the navy, who were just smashing them. That was basically it.
Yeah, Japanese on the Pacific theater did not do that well. For
Yeah. But then
certain
again,
portions.
the tanks did well because they were mostly facing against China during the beginning of the war. China and some bits of Russia. But then
Because
again,
they just straight up didn't have tanks.
yeah, they didn't have
Like,
anything in
they
China.
didn't have anything.
Yeah, that was
They'd be glad to have a
the
stick.
the nationalist Chinese who then escaped to Taiwan, and then the communist Chinese just hid away and wait for the Japanese to go away, and that's where the Communist Party of China came from, being cowards.
Well, from running into the mountains, like behind the mountains.
Yeah, they just
That
ran
was
the
the whole
mountains, hid like bastards, and just came out and said they're the real China. Oh well.
I always wonder what would happen if the nationalists didn't lose, i.e., the communists didn't flee to the mountains. Because if the communists never fled, they would have been eliminated.
Oh, the communists would have been fucking trumped. Because if you've seen the history of the Communist Party of China and how much they died. There's no other way to put it. Their leader killed most people in history. One of them, I don't remember his name, but he killed 37 billion.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
A lot of starvations because of the very dumb decisions.
Yeah,
with,
trying to export, trying to outmatch the Soviet, or at least match with the Soviet Union in exporting metal and food. So
that and just not
yeah.
So many bad decisions with grain production were made.
And their military reconstruction, which has only changed since the last 50 years, which remember, not even 50 or 60 years ago, literally everyone was the same fucking rank, general to private, same, no really authority over the other, and recently had to reorganize themselves into a modern battle structure, which took them a bit to work out the kinks, which they're still doing to this day. Oh well. And I was looking at a Canadian tank, which was they took the Sherman chassis, took the turret off, and replaced it with like an AA one. Problem, there was no like German planes in the sky anymore at that point. The Luftwaffe was dead.
Yeah, how would that been?
So what did they test it on? The German infantry.
Oh.
And it fucking worked. And you see why Canada's called the successful war criminal? Because
they did stuff. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. And what they did to admittedly what they did to the Japanese during the First and Second World War. And Germans did. What the fuck was that? I thought I heard someone snap. Just fucking snap.
Might have been me, eating some pies.
Alright, jeez. I just thought you just like snapped your finger, just fuck.
Don't worry, I would have been screaming my head off.
Oh yeah. Just like then mute the stream. We'll be right back after this intermission.
I wouldn't even mute. You would just hear the full scream.
I know. It'd just be in the background as I'm saying that. Oh, no. Still, I've seen a lot of the German tanks with the Ram Mark II, which was their like, it took the M3 Lee and Grant parts to make it, but it was like, I think it was the only multi-turreted tank that the Canadians have at the time, and it was, I would admit, pretty shit. No amount of patriotism of Canada can get through that point. It was shit.
Multi, uh, multiple turret tanks tend to not be that good
Oh yeah, but generally
on
for
average.
okay, for the Ram Mark II, as a tank itself, it was okay-ish. It wasn't the greatest, but as a multi-turret tank, it actually did its job fucking well. But they changed from, that was the early version. I think it was the Mark One, but I just say the Mark II since that's basically both versions of it. Mark II, they replaced the second little turret of the machine gun with just a normal machine gun port. And basically that's all they changed to it, and it improved a little bit as it changed the armor from welded and plated to, I think, some half full chassis, half
Yeah,
stuff.
welded armor is cheap to make, but not good.
Yeah.
It's very ineffective.
Then they had full casted tanks, which were not really the cheapest, not really the fastest, but it was still a good middle ground between the two, but it was still great. That's what the T-34 was, but then again, T-34 was mixing all good things at tanks at the time and just placed them into one bastard. Then again, the Soviets had a lot of tank designs. Too much, to be
I
exact.
I don't know that much about tanks and how many tank designs were made and how they're named from different races. There's no way I could memorize
Yeah.
anything.
There was the French tank of World War One that was a giant fucking tank. There was an FT, but long, that required 13, or I think 13 to 8 people to use. And they had
Hold on.
13 of those tanks. And during the Second World War, they had to reactivate those because they had nothing else. And France was getting trounced. And you think, oh yeah, that might be bad. Nope. Do you know what the fucking Soviets had? Something that was even bigger and needed more people. It had a small village in there. It had, the
Shoot.
Soviet one had 5 turrets.
I'm trying to look up a specific type of tank that I want to say the French made it or the British. Either the French or the British
You mean the
made it, and it was
Independent?
a tank. No, it was maybe I don't know necessarily, but it was a tank made for World War II, but that was designed for World War One warfare, and it was absolutely gigantic.
The TOG.
But the TOG, that's what it was. The
The
TOG.
British tank.
Yeah, it was British. It was gigantic, and it sucked for World War II because it was super slow,
Yeah.
but it was so heavily armored.
It was one of the many
It
designs
was
the old gang produced.
massive hot dog.
The Winter TOG, yeah. It's, but then again, not as stupid as the Maus, which of course is the German super tank that
It
was.
wasn't.
Remember, it weighed 188 tons. The TOG weighed 80 tons. This bitch weighed double.
Yeah, it was. Some of the super weapons were actually good, and some of them were.
Yeah, remember the Maus was the first version. They were gonna make the E100, which would have been even bigger and even tougher, and actually probably more maneuverable.
I've seen the mouse. Didn't it have a gigantic turret?
Fucking, it had 2
Maybe it was.
turrets.
Oh, it had 2. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
thinking of a different one. A
Well, it
different
had
mouse.
2 guns in the one turrets, but it was giant. Like, yeah,
I may be thinking of something else, but like it looked like a giant box,
oh yeah,
sort of.
it did look like a giant cinder box with a thing on top of it.
Maybe I'm thinking of some other thing. I don't really know. I don't know enough about tanks.
Oh,
I focus myself more on like older history stuff.
yeah, its tank is. I find it ridiculous because the maintenance, like, I think more logistically, because you can't have a war without logi, and like
Hmm.
the side skirts of it, those were like cast to it, so you couldn't actually get into the treads and fix it and wind up the tracks and shit, which meant, dude, you have to
Have
lift
you
the whole fucking thing up 188 tons into the air, and you can't really do that in the field because it's 188 tons. I cannot focus on that number enough because the TOG weighed half that and even less than half of that, and they couldn't even move it from where it's currently sitting.
How would you? Oh yeah, it would break. It would break the floor if you try to move it out of the
Yeah,
museum.
the Maus had a custom snorkel so it would go under lakes because it can't go across bridges without collapsing them.
That does show that maybe it's a bad tank design if you can't move the tank anywhere. It's like, yeah, it's heavily armored, but at this point, it just becomes a, a defended turret.
It's a
Why
moving
even add
bunker.
treads?
It was a
Yeah,
moving bunker.
it's a moving bunker.
It would have been perfect for World War One. Newest flash, we ain't World War One. This is World War Two was put in.
Yeah, because at that point, you slow yourself down so much
Yeah.
that it becomes ineffective. You can
Due to
maneuver
a
around it.
certain brilliant trait the Allies had and a horrible trait the Axis all shared, which was the chain of command and the man on the ground's lack of communication. During the Second World War and First World War, honestly, with the Americans, British, and all of them, if they got a tank they didn't like, they can tell them to fuck off, and they'll get their old one back. Like the Sherman was supposed to have a bigger gun, like the Firefly, but the soldiers on the ground and generals were like, fuck no, give us our old shit back. And they did. They gave them that old shit, and they went to D-Day with the old shit.
And it was good.
Yes. You want the Germans the other stuff got? Well, oh, you want the old shit? Too bad. Here's the new shit.
And the new stuff was sometimes not as effective.
Yeah. Like, you could have been like, oh yeah, I don't want the STG, and you get the STG, and you like the STG. Or you can get the Skindewehr, which was the, last-ditch weapon that the Germans had right before Berlin fell. Which, it looks cool, but I'm telling you, it's not comfortable to shoot. Trust me. It's not that fucking comfortable.
Didn't the Germans make the first? They made a first type of gun. I don't know what it was called.
Night vision?
The um, the first. I think it was machine gun. Not like ground, but like handheld.
Handheld machine gun. Well,
what was it? They made the first something. It was one of their super weapons. Not an actual super weapon, but it was a very effective gun. What was it? What was it?
I'm drawing a blank here too.
I'm pulling up like.
I was gonna say the first machine gun was made by Maxim. The Maxim machine gun, the same man, Maxim, who was actually competing to make the light bulb.
Hold on.
What gun did the Germans invent? You gotta narrow that down, buddy.
Invent what? 8mm? No, maybe 8mm, but like what names? MG42.
Oh yeah, the MG series.
That's what it is. MG, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was handheld.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it
was.
was.
Submachine gun? Might have been submachine gun.
Excuse me, did you just call the MG34 a fucking submachine gun?
I don't know my guns,
okay,
man.
I'm gonna tell you, that was Hitler's buzzsaw. That was what they used on D-Day. That was the machine gun. The MG series, anything that had MG the Germans used, those were machine guns. As you know, MG, machine gun. That may not be exactly what it means, but MG means machine gun.
I do not know my World War II.
And during the Cold
I
War to even now, an MG3 is literally an MG42 with a different caliber. They're still using that thing to this day.
Because it was so effective.
Yes, it's like how the Americans are still using the 50. The 50 series, those are MGs.
I think I was in fact talking about that.
Yeah. I love the German machine guns because they're just like, they run through ammo so quickly, it purrs like a kitten, and it's loud as hell. It's brilliant. Sadly, I live in Canada, you don't really get to shoot more than 5 rounds, but still.
That's why I should move to the USA, where you can carry around a grenade launcher. Well, not like around, but you can own one.
You can buy a fucking cannon without a license, man. Even I know this.
It's crazy. I've seen.
Your president has said you can't, but you can. I looked it up. You can.
That's crazy. Oh, I am broken. I don't.
I love it. I actually because anyone can make a cannon. You just need a pipe and Google.
It's not that hard. Oh.
Like literally, you can make anything with Google because you just need to be not dumb enough to try it or fuck up.
accidentally looked up how to make TNT when I was younger. I actually looked up how to make actual TNT. So it was because I looked up a Minecraft recipe when I was like 9, maybe a bit younger.
Charcoal, silver, potassium nitrate makes black
Yes.
powder. Even I
Why
know
do
that.
you know?
I know that
Why
by
do you know
heart.
that? Why?
Oh shit! I
I
threw my
don't.
phone. I'll be right. I threw the fucking ball. Of the recycle in a second. The reason why I know that is because you need to reload ammo.
Hmm.
Because ammo can be expensive. Even though it's actually cheaper, ammo is cheaper in Canada than America, by the way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Lower demand.
And also, there's been a common thing where people go to Canada to buy ammo and export it to America.
Ah,
Part of it is
sucking it
legal.
from
I
me.
don't know, because there are people who've done that illegally. I've been telling you right now,
Called
it's not worth
smuggling.
it. It's not worth it.
Wouldn't it still be profitable doing it legally?
Yeah.
Then why would you just do it legally? I don't understand.
Yeah. That's called people want to try and get as much as they can, but still, that's still stupidity and all this stuff. But, I
I would
don't know.
rather live.
Yeah.
Why am I tired?
Everyone's
It's
tired, right?
three. It's 3:30. Why am I yawning? Oh,
It,
because my lights dark.
it's 4:30 p.m. for me.
Oh, I forgot you're Canadian. Gross.
I'm in the more eastern side of Canada, which is where I think more been burning's been happening. It's where the fire has been coming from.
Yeah, thanks for making New York look like it has the orange filter on it.
How do you think I feel? I'm closer to it.
Oh wait, yeah, I realized you are the one that originally had the filter.
Yeah,
Is,
because
is, is the fire still going on?
I have no fucking clue, but sometimes, still a few days, sometimes I think, is that fire outside or barbecue? Because I just smell smoke and I'm like, whatever, if it kills me, then it's no longer
Oh,
my
we
problem.
we always assume it's a barbecue.
We always assume it's probably something that's gonna kill us.
Like, I was one time riding home on my bike, and from school, and I just see this massive fire, and I'm like, huh, I wonder what that is. And some other kid went up to me and was like, oh yeah, that's the Walmart on fire, and then just kept going. I was stood there for like a straight minute thinking,
Hmm.
the Walmart's on fire, and then just went home.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I probably played on my PSV for some time.
Yeah. I remember I was, cause I've been looking at, skinwalkers and Wendigos and other, like, Inuit, and other stuff. Which, by the way, Inuit is just one group of indigenous peoples.
I know what an Inuit is. I'm
Yeah,
not
good.
dumb.
Cause I have,
Mostly.
yeah, have you ever had to do a pop quiz? Have to list over 20 of those fuckers? I couldn't. So,
We kind of have those, but it's just with Native Americans.
yeah, same thing. It's just
There's so
indigenous.
many of them. There's so many groups. There's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, and it's it's weird to call them all like one group, like indigenous peoples, because it's like saying all Americans are the same. Like Texans and Californians, they're
But they
exactly the
are.
same.
But they are.
Yeah,
I should know. I've lived in both of those states.
yeah. Then there's both extremes, but yeah, all this stuff. It's like
Oh
saying
no,
someone from
they are the extremes.
yeah, it's like
There's
going
3
to
points.
Alberta, Ontario, and Quebec and saying they're the same. I'm telling you right now, they are leagues apart from each other.
So there's okay. I want to say there's 4 versions of the state. There's California, Montana, Texas, and then New York. Those are the 4 type of states.
Mm,
Every state falls under one of those,
yeah, I
and I may get stabbed for that, but that is just the truth.
for what
I
I
guess you would
understand,
replace Texas with Florida, but
yeah.
I mean,
For what I understand, a skinwalker is because I remember people just call anything that sounds weird in the woods a skinwalker, even though it's
it's the most
actually
popular one.
a skinwalker actually won't even announce itself. Skinwalkers are what I've at least what I've been told or been asked about or I've been asked about and then got told by some indigenous elders, which were they are people that are just like they act too human. They act like a human too much, and they can shift or look like an animal without a tail. And they will mimic that animal. They don't act out of place. They try to stay hidden. The way you should know it's a skinwalker is not when it's loud, but when it's oddly silent. It's like when you go hunting.
And
If you don't hear the birds, you don't hear anything going out, something
you're
is there.
dead.
No, it's because of a predator's in the area hunting everything there, and everything goes quiet because it's close.
That's why I don't go hunting and I stay indoors.
That's why
I
I go.
haven't seen the sun in 7 years.
That's why I go hunting. If you think I'm joking, folks, I ain't.
What's the sun?
Yeah, I'm not really the most sane person. I know that because my family have been known to go hunting at night. Why?
Why? Why? Are you crazy?
Question: if we're the ones doing that, do you think a monster will be scared of us then? If we're the ones
I'm
doing the crazy shit?
I don't want to take the trash out when it's night outside.
Have
Why
you
would
seen
you want to go hunt in the dark?
Question: have you ever seen a Florida man on the moose?
No.
Cause okay, so I have a cousin that's from Florida. He came up, and we went to
Did
my
he?
aunt Connie's farm, and there's been hearings of a few moose nearby because they moved south a lot. They've been actually moving a lot south from. They used to be only near like Nunavut and the Yukon and the territories and Alaska. They've been moving away down, making themselves into America even. So making them ways over
Oh,
here, I am
American
not
moose.
surprised. And
American moose.
all we hear is a fucking moose. And then this moron on the back of one and it just rolls past. We don't see him for another 3 hours until he comes back covered in mud and blood. And we had no idea if
They're
it's his
called
or the beast's.
they're called meese, not moose. It's
Actually, the
meese.
plural is moose.
It's meese.
I,
It's like goose.
I know,
Meese.
but
I can't say it because I have a bridge, but
like saying ox, like oxen.
no,
But
it's accent.
listen here,
Did I
boy.
tell you that I failed English?
Yes, I can tell.
No, but I know it's pronounced moose, but
Yeah.
I don't.
And Wendigo, like, due to westernization in media, they always picture Wendigos as, they have the skulls and that shit. A Wendigo is just a human that's in near starvation. That's it. That's all they look like. They just look like a starving human. Crazed eyes. That's the only difference they would look for a normal man.
Ah, so a homeless person from Los Angeles.
Yeah, and so a few other accounts that I've seen
That
popularized
would
and
make
that I
sense.
actually kind of sort of think into the myth, which is our limbs are a bit more elongated to a normal man's to indicate beast from human. But then again, there's a lot. Jesus Christ!
What?
I just heard a blah blah blah.
Sorry. I lost my game and got a little frustrated
Yeah,
and
yeah.
smashed my desk. Shouldn't do that. Calm, breathe.
There's been a lot of like
And
old
my guy died.
myths.
Hooray.
There's seen a lot of old myths about North America and well across the world and how they all kind of fall into some sort of commonality. Like, rather to explain a myth, like Zeus was created to explain thunder and lightning, and the Minotaur was created to explain earthquakes, as its mighty roar would shake the earth.
Oh,
And,
I thought it was the gods playing. I thought it was the gods bowling. I thought that was the explanation.
no, there was most other, like, other things like, what else? My brain stopped for a second. Oh, that's what it is. Skinwalkers to explain people going through hysteria or going through panic or going through insanity or psychopathy is why they seem too human. Or a Wendigo when someone is starved to the point of madness where they eat anything in sight. It falls into something to explain what they do not know or to unexplain something they already know to a point where they don't want to believe it. Because they don't want to believe that their friend just is eating other friends. They have to explain it's a monster to save their own sanity. That we now
All to
don't really see that point anymore as we try to make it into movies and into stories. As we've
And
lost
what's a siren?
Oh, well, a
What is that
siren.
explaining? Like sea madness or something?
Oh,
Like
in the
like
sea,
when someone hop on the ship?
because, ladies were banned from ships because, men had to get away from their wives somehow. Um, another joke about that would be the reason, due to the quality of food and women in Britain, they became the best sailors in the world. Another joke of that. But hey, due to the loneliness on a ship, people would find a way to kill themselves, and to bring up morale, they say it was a beast. We must hunt the beast. When in reality, it was someone who was too lonely. So
Well,
yeah,
that's why we know gay sailors are the best.
yeah. It's I've been in the Navy. Those guys can party hard.
Oh my gosh.
Like, okay, so I have this. One of my great family friends is from the Navy, and holy shit, that man parties like no one else. Holy shit.
I would agree with you, but my dad is from the Navy and he's not like that.
Oh, he's one of the
Not at
people that
all.
have the stick up their ass, or a priest.
No, 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 not like that. He just um not like, how do I explain this? He's just not boring, not stuck up. He's just not very party. He's more like too chill. Also, he I don't know if this means anything. Got to achieve and probably would have gone higher if he hadn't gone out. So he was pretty high up, and he enlisted, by the way. He wasn't like an officer. He
Yeah,
enlisted and got to chief, which is kind of a big deal.
yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So he's not like one of the enlisted that's just kind of like is still stuck at the bottom because they're not trying.
Mhm.
He worked hard, but definitely did not party at all. Well,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I didn't know him, but he doesn't anymore.
Some people they consider their party work, which,
Oh, he definitely does. Oh, he totally does.
yeah. Bloody hell.
I'm gonna send another meme.
The VTuber model said, "Hey, I don't want to work anymore. Why? Why?
The
Because
VTuber model break.
my
Oh,
cam.
so
Yes, this
sad.
happens a bit. Fucking because I gotta replug in the goddamn cord. Yeah.
Like the idea, I like the idea that aliens did crash on Earth, but they were actually just young aliens that just got their spacecraft license and drove over to us.
That actually
Sorry,
makes
my friend.
sense.
It does. My friend just sent me a meme and I had to read it out.
Oh no. But I've heard like
Nice
the
white.
like has the Senate in like America actually been talking about aliens? 'Cause I haven't
Oh
really
no,
paid
yeah.
attention to that.
They I don't think it's anything super duper official, but yeah, aliens exist. They say, and no one cares. They're all saying, "Well, does this help me pay taxes or
Yeah,
something?"
will
On
it
the
affect my
internet.
gas prices?
Do I gotta pay more on income taxes?
Yeah.
It, I saw it on actually, and some of the top comments were, "Give us healthcare, please."
Oh god. Gotta just.
Also, uh, a state senator was bullied so much by the internet that the senator actually came back from vacation early just to do a budget,
Mm,
which is hilarious because it shows that if enough people call like a state politician, they will do things. Now, people in the federal government get called so much that it probably won't do much. Like, but it shows that like state senators and I'm assuming also representatives, they don't have as much power. Can be told to do things.
yeah.
Also, hold on, wasn't there is it kosher? Kosher. No, not that. KOSA. It's KOSA.
Mm.
The Kids Online Safety Act. Ooh, this I've been seeing it on the internet, and I don't think it's passed yet. But it's going around, and if it's passed, it's gonna be a major problem for the internet.
I
The
remember
Kids Online.
I had a discussion with my father that lasted 8 hours about aliens. This was like a while back, a few
Ooh,
years back,
eight
when we
hours.
saw 8 hours. Listen, we can talk. Listen, if you think I can talk, I got that from my father, and I got half of that stuff. All right. Yeah.
I can talk too. It's just a lot more blabbery.
Yeah.
I'm less focused on the topic.
Yeah.
I kind of went
Uh,
off.
and we found this because we saw, there was actually same footage that was seen, I think, in a few clips of the Sanitarians about aliens. One of those clips that were shown of a few years back, I already seen a
Mm-hmm.
few years back. It was already leaked a while back, and we were already talking about that because it moved not any like how we have nothing on our planet could make that thing move like that. Because it kind of
Was that the pill?
yeah, it kind of the pill fall by the drone. The drone was following it.
Oh, okay.
Cause it kind of made a turn, but didn't like do like a it turned in the air. It more like just slowly moved and one another direction, one to another. Like how
Weird.
like without having like much resistance to the air at all. Which is not how that works since it was a fucking flying pill. It looked like.
I hope aliens make income taxes go down.
I mean, if they fucking rule over us, then they'll have. Because I've mentioned this, how my opinion of the human species and how our history is divided by one thing, which is war, due to our planet's evolutionary structure.
The thing is, because
Like,
I like to think that if an alien shows up, humanity is be like, hey, we don't have to punch each other. We can now punch you, and then we just all start like fighting the
that
alien.
is actually how it would
Because
go down.
that is probably how it would go
Because
down. Because
during the First World War, like, oh, like, this fucker's fucking up, all one gangs up on that one because they all have a common purpose. Or, like, during the Prohibition, everyone hated one thing, alcohol. Stamped it out and supported the one thing that got rid of it.
when everyone realized that they actually didn't hate alcohol, they
Yeah.
beat up the guy that said
But that's
he
the
did not
after
like alcohol.
effect, but most, like, like World War II, same thing happened. Most countries, though, not... Most countries'
American.
parties didn't like what the Germans were doing, or at least economically. I won't say about the politics about like the Jewish peoples and
I'm gonna be
it's
honest.
anti-Semitic. I'm just going to more
Well,
focus on at the time anti-Semitic was still wide range across the world, including Canada. That started a riot over a hockey match and anti-Semitism. Long story.
that was a lot of words. My brain didn't process half of that. Oh,
Yeah,
a hockey match. And
and anti-Semitism.
you play D&D?
What? I play D&D. Yes.
What's L4D2? Sorry, I'm reading the About You Discord and I'm just confused. What is L4D2?
What? Sorry.
Left 4 Dead. I'm dumb. Left 4 Dead 2. I am.
Yeah, I played that game religiously for so long, but I'm just like I'm gonna stay sober on that game for a while. just that.
Shoot, I didn't really click that. I only have one game that I play a good portion, and it's Democracy 4. And I've it's only been recently, but I already have 100. I only recently started replaying it like 2 weeks ago. So I may get to 1,000 hours.
You can probably guess what the most successful species on the planet is. I'm telling you right now, it's not humans.
Bacteria.
Nope.
Uh,
Ants.
That one thing that kills bacteria. Oh yeah. Well, that's debatable, but yeah.
Alright,
really
so if there was a flood for humans, we all fucking die. If there's a flood for ants, they actually can form into one giant cohesive ball that actually can trap oxygen around themselves and none of them drown.
Like, bacteria are literally unkillable. I don't like. Have you seen the way that they exist? They were one of the first forms of life, and they still exist.
Yes.
Well, not like one of like the first, but they're
as well as
one,
insects. They've been along as long as before us as multicellular creatures. Insects are the first thing to dominate our planet and still exist.
But if we talk about big creatures that are successful.
And by the way,
have you seen
on
sharks?
Biomass on the planet, 70% of biomass on the planet are fucking termites, by the way.
No way. You're kidding.
Around that.
Termites?
Have you seen this continent of Africa? Termites dominate more than ants there, but ants are around other places, like rainforests.
What's the difference between a termite and an ant?
Oh, simple. Okay, termites are more made for desert and hotter weathers. And
so
their queens can become very bloated, which can create a lot more, and they're more. Also, their hives are known to be as tough as concrete. Meanwhile, ants are just off their environment. So, termites create their homes and are more stagnant. Meanwhile, ants can move around in their environment.
Aren't termites also bigger?
I
think termites are bigger. Well, on average.
Well, depending on the species, that is, because I've seen a lot of like there's been a few.
It's not fair to compare it to like a bullet ant because those are big, but like.
Giant ants. Giant ants are bigger than bullet ants. There's also marauder ants, which can have marauder versions of a bug, which are, by the way, about twice as large as a fucking giant ant, which is way larger than any termite I've seen. Marauders are the biggest, and they actually have known to have the bigger ants have smaller ants on top of them like little jeeps, thus called marauders.
They're called marauders? I thought they were just like.
You thought those were army ants?
not army ants, but there's a name for like the giant, like the really big ones that had like the small workers, like worker, and then there's like a name for the other ones.
Yeah,
Is it
there's
marauder? It might be marauder.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
pretty
sure.
sure that's it. Then there's also the vampire ants, which are the only ants that have a king instead of a queen, only by name due to King Dracula as the joke by the scientists.
Ah,
And actually, they work
shoot.
very well.
But like on average, and also a lot of tiny ants are still really successful.
Yeah.
Like there's this really small one that super invasive species
Crazy
came
ant,
to the
fire
Americas.
ant, yellow crazy ant, black crazy ant, fire ant. Those are the main ones.
Yeah, I picture as yellow crazy ant spread to I want to say the Americas via ship and dominated the natural wildlife. But then I want to say some other giant ant from its habitat came and they're both like not just the Americas but like all around the world. They have super colonies and both of them are fighting. But
Yeah,
sorry,
yellow and black crazy
I'm
ants.
just throwing up information right now. I think
Yeah,
it's yellow crazy ants. Is
yellow
it yellow
and black
crazy
crazy
ants?
ants, both of them.
Yellow and black. I think it was black. Isn't black the big one? The bigger.
The only difference is
I
their
think
fucking color. That's why they
it's not
yeah.
color because I know like, maybe it was fire ants.
Fire
The
ants are
red ant.
also there because fire ants are the bastards. Cause
Oh, fire ants are. I've never been bitten by one, but
I have and don't.
I've seen so many.
That's
I
why
know
they're
one
called
ant.
fire ants. Have you ever had a fire ant bite your balls? I have. It's not pleasant.
Wait, what?
I
Oh,
sat on a
that.
fire ant hill. Okay, I fucked up.
Well, no, I think I have been bit by one, but it was like, but like it only got like half a bite or
Have
something.
you ever wanted to die more than getting bit on the balls by a fire ant?
Ah, getting bit there by a bullet ant. Ooh.
That no,
Mm.
that's just I'll just get the gun myself. It's like nope,
It's just like, no.
it's not worth it. Oh
Have
god.
you have you seen the videos of like bees unstinging themselves from people? Where
Uh,
like they do like this twisting motion and they pull out the stinger and just fly away.
yeah, that's the ones that do survive.
Yeah, is that because like they're trying to sting the person or they're just trying not to die?
They try not to die. It's like what also I find
I mean,
fascinating,
it's
which is
good. 'Cause
bees versus hornets and like murder wasps, all that. Which is
I'll be honest,
they go onto the body and they flap the wings a fuck ton,
oh, yeah,
creating heat that kill the little wasp, the big ass
but it
one.
also kills. It also can kill them if they go a little bit too high. But
There's a
they
difference.
have
The bees can reproduce very quickly. The wasps aren't as quick.
that, and the bees resistant to temperatures a little bit higher.
As
So
well as they're actually known that if they are overheating, they can use the wings to cool off the hive. Due to, like using like a ventilation. Air goes in one way, air goes out the other. Like
I've seen
a
a
fan.
video of a Republican eating a wasp nest.
Yeah.
It made me want to die inside because he stuck it in his mouth and chewed.
I
And like
remember.
you could see the wasps flying around his mouth.
Yeah.
That man is crazy.
There's
And
people like that.
no, and he like he was going like when he like shoved it in his mouth. He grabbed it, showed it to us in his hands, and then shoved it in his mouth.
Have you ever seen a man eat a scorpion? Hilarious.
Uh,
Then again,
uh,
I gotta be honest. They remove the stinger because that shit will kill you. The rest, because
oh, but,
a scorpion without a stinger is a dead scorpion. Even the
well,
scorpion
I mean,
acknowledges it. Because some scorpions literally just go limp after the stinger's gone. They're
I mean,
still alive, but they just give up.
they have the tiny denser things.
Because the main way they actually eat it all is because their little claws and is pretty much what their mouth is. That does fuck all. Their pincers do fuck all. Their real attack was their stinger, and that's gone, so they just give up. Because I've seen someone chop it off, and it still moves. It just like skulks around before it dies.
It looks depressed, probably.
Yeah, it did. If it had a face, it looked depressed.
I hate bugs so much. It makes me like the only bug that I can handle is ants.
I find them fascinating.
And like that's just barely. Every other bug makes me want to like jump into like a giant body of bleach.
Yeah, I
It makes my skin tingle
most of my friends have the
in the
same
bad way.
opinion, so I mostly tease them by showing them images like, see this species of bird hunting spider is the size of this
Oh, I've seen
plate.
those. I've seen those. I hate those. I hate them so much.
You know the funniest
But
part?
like
Due to their
most
size and
tarantulas,
how
go.
of spiders work, due to all insects having the certain fact of their respiratory systems used not by lungs, but because of just letting oxygen go into them, since the bigger they are, the slower and less they move. If you just see it, it's not gonna fucking move for probably an hour or two.
Well, usually they also don't run towards you. They run away. They don't want to mess with you because you're big and scary.
Yeah.
The bird-eating spider might just attack you because I mean it's a bird-eating spider. It
Burrowing
is bird. I
spiders will only attack you if you go close enough, because, again, due to their size, they don't move that much. And if they do a
Wasn't
wasted
there one?
attack, they just
Wasn't there one giant train? Well, not like giant, not like the massive. One of the larger ones. Got shipped with a pack of bananas and like killed the guy.
I did not hear about this. The fuck?
I'm pretty like yeah, like it got shipped with a bunch of bananas, packed of bananas, attacked by it, and I'm 50% sure that he died.
I think what was it called? I think the fungal virus of the cordyceps, wasn't it called?
Isn't that the one in that one game?
And the TV show
Uh,
The Last of Us. Yes, that is that
yeah, that's
actual real virus that doesn't really affect
it is.
humans, but
It
it's
infects insects or
uh,
like ants
ants.
specifically.
Actually, most insects, but their primary prey is ants due to there being so much of them, as being a large portion of biomass on this planet.
Yeah, that must suck. Or like oh, like that's a zombie
Actually,
invasion.
for millions of years,
The ants.
ants have been known to quarantine themselves if they know they're infected, which they can actually tell by the way they're. Oh, I don't. Wait, I'm not moving like this. I'm not wanting to do this. So they know they're quarantining themselves away. While the virus tries to take control and move them towards the ants. Meanwhile, the ant itself is trying to move them away, knowing that it'll damage the colony. Which is
I've
fascinating.
There is one species of ants that cultivates, I want to say fungus, no, moss. Something on leaves.
Oh,
Like leaf cutter ants?
leafcutter ants, yes.
So interesting. Also,
There's
the
also
weaver
other ants
ants.
that, weaver ants, I think, though some other ants that harvest aphids, not harvest, but mostly farm aphids and other
Oh yeah,
insects.
they farm them for like their juice liquids.
Yeah.
And also, weaver ants don't do that. They weave themselves massive nets in trees.
Yes.
Like they put all the leaves around them and click it.
I remember I
Cool
saw
thing.
a video of someone who thought that was just like a natural formation. It'll look cool to hit like a coconut, and then they break it and a
Like, bang.
shitload of ants fell on them.
Don't. Although attacking one of those isn't really that big.
Well,
Like
it's not that bad of a deal unless it falls in your head.
I meant for the ants because they have like a bunch of other ones.
Oh yeah, they
in the
do.
trees usually.
Yeah, it's fine for the ants mostly.
It's also interesting because I think ant colonies that have multiple queens are more interesting because ants that have one queen, like the fire ant colonies, they just die eventually. But multiple queen colonies can last ages.
I
And I
like
mean
to remind you
ages.
that a queen can live for 30 years.
Yeah, well,
Just viewer discretion. If you think that ant colony will just die out, motherfucker, it could it'll outlast you.
well, yeah, but I mean, like, it can only get so large, and then the queen dies, and then the
Yeah.
colony slowly just ages and dead.
Yeah.
But with multi-queen, those colonies can get massive, and I mean massive.
Yeah.
And then they can start making super colonies. But the thing that stops them from making those is that the ants, their genetics diversify to where the ants don't are no longer connected genetically enough, and they start
Yeah.
fighting each other. Although the reason super colonies exist outside of their natural habitats is that they don't genetically diversify for their location. They all stay the same because of how much they dominate the ecosystems. So they stay connected as these super colonies
Yeah.
of like with hundreds and hundreds of queens.
I remember I've
Just
seen like how
spanning.
fast the trapjaw ants like mouth
Oh,
closes.
trap giants. Yeah, we're
And
like they're like
holy-
90 degrees. No,
It's
180. And
Yeah,
just go
180 goes towards 0, and faster than a bullet can leave from a barrel to the end of the course in 100 meters.
Spiders' legs work through hydraulics.
Yes. That's why when you kill them, they just kind of
They curl up.
curl up.
And scientists have used their limbs to have like little grabby things. They go like, and they like pick
Yeah.
up like a piece of paper or something because their limbs are weak.
hmm
I don't think tarantula limbs work the same way though, because they're so large. Maybe they
Yeah.
do.
I do not know much about that, but
That would be a lot of water if they did. You'd
I,
like crack open their legs, be like,
I love. I mentioned we went on this rant about insects after I mentioned like, oh yes, the most dominant species on this planet, alien, about not about ants, about all that. Because I was gonna mention how there was the Tomorrow War, which was a theory about they took ants and just gene sliced them into what the monsters were, and the aliens just crashed by accident, and they released it on the planet by accident.
ooh,
Which it makes sense. There was a queen, and that was hurled around by a bunch of males, smaller ones. Made a bit more sense. Plus, I don't know. I like the little concept of that. Growing up
let me
gaming, I'm pretty
check
sure thought of
something.
that.
Oh wow, hour-long stream. Let's go.
Yeah,
Hour 6 minutes. You got your model working again, by the way. I know that.
yeah. And my phone keeps trying to die on me. No, don't die on me. I do not allow you to die.
Oh wait, I just realized my phone's about to die too. I haven't been charging it.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding. It's a 4%.
There we go. Just,
Okay, I'm plugging it in.
yeah,
Shoot!
mine is plugged
I
in, but it
dropped.
just sometimes doesn't choose to charge. So I'm just like, why? Why?
I dropped my phone. Whoops.
Mm.
Fine enough.
I, I
I think
remember.
this is the first time I've audibly talked
Yeah, it is.
on a stream, at least, or in general.
I took. Have you ever been to a HEMA match before?
Oh, what?
A HEMA. By your expression, by what's a HEMA? Basically, it's
No clue.
like it's medieval sparring, and like you know do medieval weapons and you spar like that. There's a few
I
other
think I know what
ways.
that is.
Yeah. I mostly do like it was unarmored, which means that if you get hit once, you're fucking dead. Instead of like having you must hit the weak points, because I'd prefer it be one shot, one kills, or quicker
God.
matches. Plus, I gotta admit, my fighting style is very I have two fighting styles. One which is mostly fun and games. I do like fucking put my hand behind my back and attack you like that. Stupid ass maneuvers with one-handed swords. Or I run in like a moron with a zest heist. I don't think it's how you say it. Pretty much I look like a helicopter with how I swing the sword.
Oh, is that what you hold it above your head and go
Left
slow
and
motion?
right. Left and right. Zerf heist. It's
Oh, wait.
yeah.
I think I know what that is. I've seen it online. I don't know. I watch like random videos explaining sword techniques, and
Cell
and
Swords
the way the
Art
whole thing.
recently released a video about that joke. The same thing I fucking do.
I'm pretty sure that I watch, but they talk about
Yeah,
a lot of sparring.
and I'm also like, since I'm a larger fellow, it's I'm mostly at a disadvantage because I'm a slower guy. But because of that, I use my weight in every attack. Like, oh, you want to do like a sword clash? Okay then, and I knock the sword out of some guy's hand.
See, I have the exact opposite problem. If I ever did that, I would be like, haha, I'm agile. You can't hit me. Oh no, 2 pounds of pressure against me. I go flying into space.
Yeah, that's why it's better to like use a saber or like a rapier, since I actually have next to my desk a rapier.
Nah, bro, I bring a bow and I just
Yeah. Uh,
everyone's dead.
I like using a rapier because not because of my weight, but it's funny because you see this large fellow using this tiny little thing, and yet that's the best thing I'm with. The rapier is my best weapon.
Well, it's pretty effective
Due
for
to
doing.
my
That's
incessant
kind of
need
its whole
to
point.
grab the enemy's blade and just walk forward pointing the sword.
Wait, hold on. You grab it and do. Oh my gosh,
You can
I
grab the
so many
blade since
times.
that won't kill you. And by the way, I have actually done that IRL normally when someone is fucking around with the blade. Oi, stop! Since they're too scared to cut, or since you can actually just grab it and kind of hold in place because you need a bit of leverage before you cut. So yeah, and since
Mm,
I admit I am not the strongest fellow, but I am someone who can rip the shit out of someone's hand.
See, mm, so I've had that happen where, because I've never dueled with any other things, but like I have younger siblings and we've messed around with lightsabers, and I have this thing where I will competitively show how inferior they are since I am the older sibling. I will show them all these cool moves I know because I'm a nerd, and completely demolish them. And they'll just be like, nah, and they'll grab my sword and then stab me in like the crotch with a lightsaber.
Yeah. All
And
right.
then I stop messing around.
So I'll show you guys on the stream, but I just went to grab my actual sparring blade that most common one I use. Since the other ones I just mostly borrow during matches. The one I actually have is a katana, or an ukatutachi, which is a type of katana. Remember, a katana just means single-bladed weapon. Katana
So
is
a knife is a katana.
technically yes.
Oh, my butter knife is a katana.
Yes, I have one next to me. It's an ukatutachi. I'm pronouncing that wrong. I know that because I have a bad tongue. It's a self-defense katana, but I've gotten so used to using it. And by the way, the way people hold it, the way that you're supposed to hold it, it's actually better for left-handed people due to it being more powerful swings. But if you use it like a right-hander, it's more agile and easier to hit. And I've learned that, so I actually have to use this both left-handed and right-handed. And also, I have 3 real ones in my closet, but I have this fake one in my hands.
Dude, oh shoot, I was in the middle of saying something. Brain, stop. Brain.
Which means, theoretically, one time I could get all 4 swords and become General Grievous. General Kenobi!
I should say that I spread my butter. I'm gonna start saying that. Sounds hilarious.
Spread your butter with a katana. I would do that with one of mine, but I'm just like, I respect them too much. I'm not gonna do that like that.
I know. You should not do that, but I mean, you can also, because a butter knife is
also, because, for the hell of it, because you're allowed to paint, add light layers of paint to it. And I added a light layer of red paint to the blade of it. They said, "What, you trying to make it look like blood, you edgelord?" And I said, "No, so the enemy can actually see it before it hits them in the face." Because I don't swing that fast, but I mostly aim for the head, admittedly. So it mostly takes them by the side, like I'll have at you. What the fuck? As it hits them in the side of the head.
Death. KO. What? I had some stuff and I got like really off track. Oh, I was talking about COSA. Was the Child Kids Safety Act or something with like internet. Hold up, let me pull that back up. That was interesting. Okay, the Kids Online Safety Act, which is proposed, and this is you don't know a lot about U.S. politics, so I'm not going to talk about that political side. But basically, both sides of the political spectrum agree on this policy, at least from the last time I checked, the Senate. And it was talking about teenage mental health crisis, blah, 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 skyrocketing, blah, 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 blah. Basically, provides parents safeguards for child stuff on the internet. Basically, parent has to be aware that the kid is on the internet and everything about it. You have to show your ID to use any websites. And children cannot see sensitive information. Nothing controversial. And they can't see any like controversial or like sensitive information means that the government can kind of just ban whatever they want on the internet, at least. But the reason why this is so major and will affect every country is for these websites to be able to do business in America, they have to change their whole website for everybody. So this would basically ban children off the internet entirely.
Yeah.
Because to be able to access to be able to access anything, you'll have to show your ID and your location and a lot of personal information. So a lot of people are angry on this app, and I saw it interesting. I saw it online.
You know what I find funny? Because if they tried that shit in Canada, it's like you need to show your ID. Have you been to none of it before? Where a bottle of water costs $25 and you can barely have any government workers up there? Yes, remember, they're flown in by a tiny little buggy plane with like 8 passenger slots and only carry like a ton of cargo. Like, I mean, by a ton of cargo, I mean the metric ton. So, by no government workers, I mean there's no one up there giving out fucking IDs. Y'all know each other up there. And I've seen them on the
Mhm.
internet. If they try that up there, you just cut off entire 3 provinces: the Yukon, the territories, and none of it.
Oh yeah, totally. And this is a major problem because not everyone.
Yeah.
This would ban kids and most people from seeing anything sensitive ever. Like, and I mean, like, they couldn't be able to see like anything. Like, kids would be stuck watching basically YouTube Kids, except even that would be censored. It's mass censorship basically,
Yeah.
which is so cool. And I hope this fails, but it passed the Senate. I'm pretty sure. Last time I checked,
I remember I was
which
talking
is
with a few
bad.
of my friends, and I think it was Callum. He randomly brought up that if we were all in the car, who would be the worst driver? And they all pointed to my great friend Braden, who I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was in a car, I'd rather him be the driver than anyone else.
Why?
Because, well, that man has been dirt biking and also lives in the country, so he mostly drives tractors, trucks, and all that shite.
Oh, so he already kind of knows how to drive.
Yeah, I trust him with that. And they would, but the group of them thought, oh yeah, I'd be the best one. I'm telling you right now, if I'm the one driving, you're dead.
Landon, you forgot clean toilet.
Goodness.
Okay, guys, I viewed that for stream just so the lack of embarrassment I get for him. Okay, you guys didn't hear all of it, but you heard a bit of it, and my stuffling laughter from it. You gotta go clean the toilet. Oh. Holy shit. Oh, it's actually hilarious. Oh. Okay, my bad. You good, my bro? Bro. You good night. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, if I'm the one driving, just jump out the car. Just walk. Like, I'm okay at driving. I will admit that. But you're not gonna be there fast if it's safe. If it's safe, you'll be there in 2 weeks. If you want it fast, you're dead. But oh well. Oh well. I'll just take the fucking transit. You know, metro, bus, I don't fucking know. Or you can just walk. I mean, if you ever walk from one town to another, not that long of a walk. Just like, 4 hours. Just walking. Walking, 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 walking. It's not that bad, honestly. I said as a large man, I think most people can do it. Well, not most. I say a lot of people. I'd say that. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be back. I apologize. That's all, mate. That's all fine, mate. Go clean the toilet. Oh, that tickled me. That tickled me. All right. Whew. I may rejoin at some point. That's great. Oh, lordy Lou. I did actually do it. I just gotta clean up the bathroom. Alright, that's fine, man. I was babble on and more about aliens then. Just how aliens. I'm not gonna go about the fucking pyramids. Those were man-made. I'm gonna clean your mom. I don't have a mother. Oh. I'm gonna clean your mom. I don't have one. I am immune to your mama jokes. I'm immune to your humor. Clean your father. Eh, you're gonna need like 3 hours. 'Cause that man is the size of a mountain. The mountain man. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, my eyes. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? Oh yeah, mention a bit about. Oh yeah, I was just like about aliens, but I honestly don't have much to talk about since I'm not interested. Since oh no, they're real. Cool. Anyway, so just none of the important. Warhammer 40k, because they had in the new books. They had the new book. I'm pretty sure that Lion came back. Wow, the Lion's back, and there's gonna be the fanboys of Lion and Gulliman gonna be arguing about who's better. And then I'm gonna be in the back with the Cardodons, just being like, "Yes, peasants fight." Just go over pointless squabba. Pointless amounts of talking about. Which one's better? I don't know. My phone, goddamn, why isn't it charging? It's not charging any of this. Holy shit. It's just dying here. Yeah. Why? I say why when I'm just like, clearing out the tabs. I realize my tuber disconnected. Look at me. I am the captain now. Anyway, there we go. Let's reset position. I used to like hide the actual overlay when I was doing that, but I'm just like, fucking show the overlay. I don't care. Oh well. And I actually have like a cards next to me, but I'm not gonna pull them out because Dravenir showed me up from yesterday. And if you're gonna ask, is Panzerheart gonna actually go on this VOD? No. Yeah, we're forgetting Panzerhearts. I hate that, and it brings back memories like, oh yeah, I had to play that game. It was just would have been so much better if I brought back the old crew for that, but now they're doing their own things now. So no, I don't talk to him anymore. I just the episode is doing stuff, and I don't want to bother him since I always assume he's doing something important, and I don't want to bother him. Skelly, I haven't talked to in a while. I don't know. Oh shit, I dropped a card. Oh well. No, we will. I haven't seen Elle in a bit. Yeah, they're doing fine, I'm pretty sure. Nim, fuck him. Cog, oh, he's doing well, I think. Yeah. Have you streamed a bit? I don't think he's streamed a bit, but he's doing like the 100 days thing. No, not 100 days, but like 100 people with a bunch of farmers. And he didn't bring me along. God damn it. I can get why though, because I can get very distracted as I say that playing with cards. And Chris and Unclaim and others I haven't talked in a bit, but they're all doing good. They're all good people. Oh well. Stuck with the alternate cast, which all of them are good. So I can have a little back and forth and bashing my head against brick walls, but hey, what can you expect when they have people that do not understand sarcasm? So, anyway, let's try to do like a card trick. I'm not gonna show it on stream because I'm trying to do this without using any help of a table. Right. That's hard to do. Oh well. Anyway, Warhammer 40k was, I think... I still love the life cycle of... Not life cycle? No. Recruitment and creation of a Space Marine. Okay, so it begins with, of course, from the chapters. Let's start with, like... Let's go... What chapter should we go with? Sample chapter Astartes. I don't care. We're gonna go with just a chapter. Of course, you can have not more than 1,000 Marines. We're gonna go with a chapter that's, like, law-abiding. Like, oh no, Astartes following. So they only have 1,000 Marines. So 10 companies, all that shit. Anyway, oh shit, the sword almost fell. And once you get recruited, you get go through vigorous training, brainwashing, enlightenment. By enlightenment, I mean like, oh yes, the Emperor's not a god, by the way. Here's all this weaponry. Go train, motherfucker, and go through absolute hell. And then you get, then you go through more trials and tribulations, custom in that chapter. Then you get the implants, and then you get the implants. Then you need to see if you actually are capable of handling the implants, which is why they're always recruiting, because you're always at war. which is why they have so many fucking recruits, and serfs, which are people who didn't pass trial and still work for them. And then there's people who didn't pass trial and go back to the homeworld. They're not they're not shamed upon. They're more like, you fucking got selected in the first place, which is amazing. So they're celebrated and become top of their classes mostly, due to them also being at peak physical shape, since they went through absolute hell training that their Astartes would do, Space Marines would do. So yeah. Then you become a scout. Once if the applications are complete, then you become a full battle brother, which is a basic Space Marine. You go through years and years of training just for one bastard. Now imagine that happens, and you just see one core knight worshipper just tear him a new asshole, just tear him in half. Imagine that. Warhammer 40k is fucking cool. Also, I love Samus. If you know who Samus is, you know that cartoon villain jazz hand entrance he does. Like, he burst out of a man's torso, torn in half, blood is everywhere, and he says, "Samus is here!" Like, jazz hands, all that shit. Like, it's so fucking cartoony, I love it. But hey, what do you expect? Not all of it can be that funny. Some of it can just be fucking, just edgy as shit. Oh, I remember one of them, which was one of the the Night Lord books. Yes, later on, those Night Lord books get fucking dark. I was gonna mention Necron, but I'll finish what I was gonna say with the Night Lords. One of them, which was pretty much, he was like one step away from becoming a Kronite Berserker, was interrogating the crew to see where the gunnery deck was. He grabbed one guy and yelled, but his Vox, which is what makes him, his suit do the words, a speaker pretty much, was at full blast by accident, which is pretty much enough to make anyone deaf. So 2 words in, the man is deaf, he got scared to shit, and put the gun up to the Space Marine's head as he shoots, and his friends behind him, his other Space Marines are cracking and just laughing their asses off. I would too. And again, not the funniest thing, imagine there was a Dark Eldar that just wanted to be quick, he wanted to be fast, he wanted to be Sonic. So what did he do? He made a machine that threw him across the fucking galaxy, and he's just yelling, "I'm the greatest motherfucker!" Imagine that, you're just sitting there and you look into the sky and you see a Dark Elf fly by yelling, "I'm the fucking greatest!" That's what Dark Eldar is. Complete nonsense with darkness. It's funny. But the original Necron books, their old quirkiness, I don't remember which one of the Necron books, but the writer based it on one of his friends that was suffering from Alzheimer's, which was sad, and it made his funniness like, oh yeah, it's funny, but it's also, when he made him like go to reality and realized what's actually happening was so, that hurt my heart as I read it. It hurt. I don't remember which book it was though, but it's still good. Holy shit. I don't know. I mostly have Space Marine books. Let's do my father's. What can I describe as an addiction to Space Marines? That man's only got Space Marines and will only do Space Marines, and they're generally good because, they're the money makers. They're what's on the title. They are John Warhammer. They are who you buy for Warhammer 40k. But I'm telling you right now, just give some Eldar love and Orcs, and I would say Tau, but give me some Imperial Guard, because we need some new Imperial Guard units as well, because I've seen there's new Tyranid ones, which are very interesting. I don't know. I've seen the Tyranids got a lot of new ones. Oh well. Oh, I was gonna mention the stories, but I don't remember what I was gonna talk, because I have a lot of stories in this fucking head of mine. Anyway, because I got really bored with ChatGTP, I say him like it was a person. I got the AI to write me stories, or little raps. And I made ChatGTP give me 5 songs, and they're not that bad. But the funniest one was, it was Karen. It was a Karen story called "A Karen's Way Denied." Oh god, no. Someone paid me, I would fucking actually try to sing them or like rap them or something, but I'm not going to right now, because what the hell. Here we go, it's a tale you gotta hear about a Karen in the hood, you never got away, shuts her way around the town, and let me talk to the man at your face, what the fuck. I love that. I give them the most vague descriptions to give ChatGTP as much leverage as they could, and much freedom as it could, because I've seen people doing very specific quotes and just make a song out of that. But I just give it something vague and it'll come up with something. It's fun. Also, I could do an entire stream just putting random shit in chat GPT and just seeing what comes out. That'd be fun. Might do that one stream. Or one video, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Also, I've been just looking at keep looking at the fucking teeth of the avatar I made, because it's similar to mine, but I'm realizing that my right one is always bigger, but these ones are exactly the same, because you can't really choose one side or over the other. They're just the same. So yeah. Oh well. I keep changing this model more often than anything else. Oh well. Oh, oh, I remember one D&D thing. I had to come up with a parody song of "Come Out Ye Black and Tans." Also, I fucking love during the Irish song, like they came out with that song with "Come Out Ye Black and Tans," and in the British they came out, and what did the Imperial insurgents do? They hid, because they didn't actually think the British would come out. So they hid behind civilians and all this stuff, using barracks that were supplied by the Americans. You may say, wait, what do you mean by this by the Americans? They could have just bought them. No, at the time, they were actually still confidential and they couldn't give those out. So, I would say they gave them up, so. Why is the, okay, I'm looking at now, why the fucking lyrics different? Like, not lyrics different, but I mean, like, fonts all fucked up. Alright, let's put them all to 1 and change them all to 1. There we go, 10. Because something changed, but I haven't done anything, so. I swear I didn't fuck up this time. Oh. There we go. Let's just. I don't know. I think we would do that at some point. Bring it into a D&D campaign, but that song. I have no idea. Maybe. Fuck. That was the hilt of a katana. Or uchikitachi. Katana is so much easier because pretty much what everyone sees, like, oh yes, it's a katana. It's all the fucking same. To me, I don't care. Anyway, the handle, well, not the handle, but I mean the guard, which in the medieval sword, oh, no, blah, blah, European swords, those are used to protect your hand. And katanas and more Eastern swords, they were made to hold your instruments, made to clean your hair, or to help your hair, because they had certain hairstyles you couldn't really do with your hands. It used tiny little picks to do. So they kept it on your sword, which again, a katana was usually a self-defense weapon. Not like they weren't really a rifle, that was your pistol. So it also kept all your tools, which makes sense. Oh. And actually on mine here, there are tiny little holes you can use for that, but, you know, it's kind of lost its purpose, since, you know, it's kind of been unknown for some reason. Oh. Oh wow. I remember I actually used to go to parades. Like, I've stopped going to them mainly because of, they just like they don't agree with me anymore. Not because like, oh yeah, I'm getting older, it's less child. No, it's still fun to go to some parades. Some are fun. Canada Day used to be fun, because you know they do random shit. It was just a bunch of Canadians doing random shit in the parade. That was it. It wasn't really anything government official. It's just a bunch of people doing fun things. Now it's like I'm not gonna complain too much about pride parades, because some of them around I've seen near my country is just near where I live. It's all fine. It's just people just walking. It's like a normal parade, just with the LGBTQ flags. It's just more when there's other stuff that I don't necessarily would rather see in public, like kinks and all that shit walking down the fucking main way. It's ridiculous, and I get it's representing yourself, but this is the main. That's like the fucking street towards a school, man. Why the fuck are you doing this? It's disgusting. It's I don't know. Because I've seen people talk about this actually, and a few, I forgot what her name was, but she was a really good YouTuber, talks about these kind of topics. Much more qualified than I am, but still, I gotta voice my opinion on that. It's just, It's a time and place, folks, and parade for when you show what you like to do in bed is not the fucking place. So, yeah. Then again, there's a lot of places you don't want to show that, including guns. Like, yes, we don't want to know. Yes, this is totally a place to show your gun knowledge at a parade. That won't end well. That won't end terribly. As you like rack a fucking gun, back in 1911. Oh well. Oh, I've been excited because both many things now for this and next year's would be the the Warhammer 40k series. Henry Cavill is making the FNAF movie, other stuff as well. So yeah, because I know since Henry Cavill, I'm pretty sure is producing, directing, and starring in it, he will actually bring us up to the name of. I'm pretty sure, since I think he's a custody player as well. I would say as well because I don't have any custodies, even though I really want to. Why? Because gold's a nice color. And also really easy to clean. Just really easy to make, because there's one fucking color, and maybe some reds in there for, and browns for the gloves and straps. So, yeah. Anyway. Oh. What else? So, I will admit that it's been getting a bit worse with, the wildfires have stopped. It's not been that bad. Just still residues of smoke and still a lingering thought that every time there's a whiff of smoke that there's impending doom next to it is still ever present in my community. So, yeah. Then again, that's mostly with more sensible peoples who are admittedly older. Anyone sensible where I live is not under the age of fucking 30 or so. Or 40. I don't know. Since a lot of the newer generations, like myself, are just... I don't know. I need someone else to talk about this part because I don't know. It's more like a echo chamber if I just talk about it alone, due to there being no conflicting opinions. Because if you do not talk with someone else different about something, you might actually just be stuck in an echo chamber and believe something that's you might think is true and just more and more when it's actually worse and you become worse of what you are. I don't know how to explain it without words. I know that was terribly said, but mainly the fact of echo chambers are very common if you don't even think about it, like consulting in a family more than others, because you may think, oh yes, this is what our family does, this is what everyone does. Nobody, that is not how that works. Because you'd be caught in an echo chamber and you might not know what actually is normal and what is not. So, yeah. Like how I thought that most people had common knowledge of wars, guns, and history knowledge. I thought that was common knowledge because my family all knew that. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. I learned that's not normal. So yeah. Oh. Is my phone charging during all this? No, it is not. Okay. Fucking stare at that thing. I was staring at it so it didn't. My camera wasn't caught. Okay, hold on. Let's just try and do this. Okay, camera, pick up where my face is. Okay, there you go. Look this way, look this way, look this way, look this way, look this way. Why did you? I literally watched you stop charging. Stay there. Fucking hell. Alright, there we go. Reset position, reset position, reset position. There we go. Right. And I'm sorry if you, during all this, heard like the fans in the background. That was still hot as hell. Summer. I don't like it. I prefer the winter due to my very high body temperature that that I unfortunately have. Well, but to the point where I can just wear a t-shirt in the winter and not give a single damn. Then again, winters in the past have been worse, and winters have been more, well, warmer in these past few years due to the fact of global warming and all that stuff. So, yeah. Then again, I remember when I was a bit younger, there was a blizzard in elementary, but everyone was already outside. So they called everyone in, rang the bells, everyone early inside, and they couldn't. It was hilarious. Like no one knew where the fuck anyone else was. Like you couldn't even follow the sound of that bell because it's a giant, it's a fucking loud ass bell. You're not hearing. You can hear it. Everyone can hear it. Is a problem. You hear it too well. You don't know where it's coming from. Yeah. So, so what did the kids do? They made banks and told like, "Get in here, soldier! We are hiding. We ain't leaving. We're hiding, boys." And we had to stay out there for an entire another period because of because we didn't know where the fuck the school was. It wasn't like a large ground. It's just because it was so much. If you were to walk in one straight direction, you will turn left or right because you're more dominant in walking that way. That's why if you go into the woods, you're more likely to walk in a trail just because you primarily prefer one side of walking, like one leg. So you walk in a circle. So yeah, without even knowing it, you go in a giant fucking circle. Which I found hilarious. Oh. Charge, damn you! As I look towards my phone. Ah. So that's how you say it. Like as went to clean a bathroom. A bathroom. Not a bathroom. Bathroom. Like a panther. Jesus Christ. I wish I had little things that could track my hands just so you can see it by your head. Like every time I put my hand on my head. Just like, god damn it, why am I saying this shit? Hold on, let me just move this. What do I have that I can entertain the stream with? I'm not showing that. I remember some old scripts I had about, oh, that's funny. Old scripts I had to try and do Gmod, Machinimas, or just little stories. Because I remember I released one, I was going to make a series, but my co-host, Deputy, was busy so much so I couldn't actually do it. To a point where I was just like, I'm going to try and make one myself. And then I realized I record so much extra footage, not because, like, they're all good in all takes, but I don't know, pain to edit sometimes. And I might do one again shortly, maybe. Then again, I'm not the best with it. Just so I can edit it down to a short. Not really a shorts, but just a short clip. So yeah. Then again, I've also been, I think, what was it, credited or casted? Well, I've been casted, but also credited for Buster. So, yeah. Which will be fun, because I think that was the voice I got stuck doing during the Korean StarCraft game. The visual novel one? Yeah. That was the voice that Buster had. And I didn't realize I was on. I'm still annoyed by it. But I'm thankful that Dreyfus said, hey, bro, your fucking voice changer's on. Fuck. Just... Shit. Oh. Anyway. Oh. Well. Remember, I might do maybe because I'm a horrible drawer, I'll do it for comedy's sake, a drawing stream maybe next week. I don't know, but I will do another Minecraft stream on Friday next week due to my, I don't know. Because I need to do that every 3 weeks, but I don't want to forget one of the weeks and just go, oh shit, I forgot to do it now. I have to do that out of the blue, which will be horrible. Oh well. Which I will not do weekends, especially this one because of Tractor Pull Derby. I'll have to do this tomorrow, which will be fun. And me and my grandmother will be going. Yes, this grandmother I say so much does some of the wilder shit. Like, oh yes, we want to go to what and party for how long? Okay, good luck with that. And we're surprised we live so long. We're surprised we live this long, honestly. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Sorry if I pause every now and then. That's me like rearranging the katana I have in my hand because it's comfortable holding one. It just feels right. It just feels right holding one. Still clean the bathroom, eh? Yeah, he is. Oh. God damn it, the phone's not charging again. Why? Why would you not charge? Why? Why? Why are you not charging, little bastard? What the fuck? What the fuck? The fuck are these wires going? Jesus Christ. Okay, this is horrible cable management. I should not be trusted with anything that requires electricity. What the fuck? There we go. Alright. Even then, I don't think it's gonna be charging there, because of course it won't. I have to summarize what this is, because I mostly do, okay, when I go before, I don't really go in, because I used to have, like, actual topics for the starting the stream, like, oh yes, we'll keep on this. That does not work for any of us, because, me, Deb, Drave, Nick, like, none of us can stay on one topic. We're more just, spontaneous and just go to random topics that we know about, or at least have a vague understanding of. So yeah, at least I can speak to that for myself. Don't know about anyone else's, though. Oh well. I'm just looking down. I just see an entire, and I mean entire fucking file full of Pokemon cards, and I just have that there still. And at this point, I'm like, oh yes, by having that there, because for memory's sake, 2, for nostalgia's sake, or 3, if someone breaks in, I throw that, and that's lethal. It's like throwing all the D&D books I have. That's just lethal. But yeah. Well, I'm gonna pull up actually some of these scripts I have, because I wrote, how many scripts did I write? Okay, hold on. Because I know I did write a script. What is this script for exactly? Oh, I know exactly what this is. You good, brother? Okay, so he just rejoins the cough. Does not say anything. Does not elaborate.
That might be home, so it's not then I have to leave. Oh no. I just repaired.
Hmm. Right. I'm realizing the model barely. I don't know if it actually. Every time I look at it, the mouth moves, but every time I look away, it looks like it doesn't even move its mouth when I talk. It's weird.
It's so windy.
Yeah.
I mean, the amateur looks good. Sorry, I'm in the middle of cleaning a bathroom.
Is that tin foil in your hands?
No, I'm in the middle of cleaning a bathroom.
Ah, I see.
So.
Hmm. I was just going on about random shit because, you know, I'm not exactly one for nailing down a singular topic.
You don't want to talk. Sorry for the tinfoil, you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not tinfoil, it's bathroom. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just going on about a few other things. One of the topics I didn't really choose to talk about due to my inexperience is the word for it, or is it just that my, I don't know. I think inexperience is the word for it, of pride parades.
What were you talking about? I had blue. Caught off guard. Sorry. I was focusing on bathroom and I just heard that out of the blue.
Oh yeah, I was saying my inexperience with going to pride parades due to I think
Oh,
to a few, but
They're interesting to say the least.
Yeah, some of them like I'm fine with them. Some of them were like the best times of my fucking life. Like,
Some
have
can
you
be
ever
fun.
like I've had one person picked up a large ass chocolate cake, and I'm like, shoot at me, and he actually threw it at my head, and wham.
I've never been to one for obvious reasons,
Yeah,
but
that was the tastiest smack in the face I ever had in my life. Just wham, chocolate. But there's also ones that have been just ones where I absolutely hated my entire experience seeing it. Because it's just, I don't know. I've known people like expressing themselves. I do not give a single flying fuck about what you do and what you do indoors. But
let me watch.
yeah, when there's a point where it's just like, yeah, it looks like there's people doing their fucking fetishes and kinks in public in a fucking parade, where they encourage younger folks to do it. I just have a problem with that because
It
it's
only bothers me when they group in like small kids.
yeah, that's the shit.
But
Which
but like if they didn't do that, then I'd be perfectly fine with it. I don't really care.
yeah,
Ow!
it's.
Smacked my hand against
I noticed
the
that
brim of the
because one of the
toilet.
parades they were angry about because they couldn't move it past one of the streets that was right beside a fucking school, which they moved
Yeah.
it obviously because it was not a very Christian fucking parade.
Well, I mean, what can you do? I guess I don't know.
It's just, uh, I don't know. It's just funny, and also I've seen just. I don't know. I was talking with my friend Callum. I mentioned him a lot before, and this. I don't know. How do I describe Callum in one word?
Insane, short, tall, boring, interesting, loud, quiet, megalomaniac. That's 2 words.
I'd say he's good. He's not like a bad person. He's not the tallest. He's like a little shorter than me. But he's not. He's also
Just on
losing.
the height out of everything.
First thing I know. First thing I say. He's not the shortest, but he's just a little shorter. But also he's been bulking, going to the gym, losing weight, which is great for him. And which
But, uh, gym is cringe. I eat brownies and Oreos.
I
And
don't really go
watch
to
anime.
I don't go to the gym for obvious reasons due to my laziness and lardness. So yeah, but I'm still strong
Go for the opposite reason.
due to my genetic luck. I'm already pretty strong, so I'm fine.
My genetic luck. Hell, what's a muscle?
Yeah. I remember Bray Day. Every time I say his name, I change it up from there's Bray Day, Bray Day, Fay Hey. It just turns to a random string of words that don't even make the original words anymore.
It just turns into like basically like a grunt.
Ray
Like, oh
Shiny,
yeah,
Fay Hey.
oh,
Hmm. He goes into all
it's
this.
not cleaning. The toilet's not getting cleaner. It looks the exact same.
Uh,
Clean.
have you tried to mix the vinegar and bleach?
I put in so much bleach. Wait, why would you put vinegar in a toilet?
It actually mixes together and helps clean it.
It would smell like vinegar.
Hmm.
I don't like vinegar. It's also not my toilet, but
Do you think I care about smells?
I do.
Listen.
I smell wonderful.
If you've ever been to a farm, your smell is gonna be turned off. All right, you know to turn that shit off or ignore it.
That's why I don't go to farms. That's why I don't go to farms. I've been to one. I almost died.
Oh god, I remember my aunt Connie. She invited all of her sisters, all 5 of them, all over to their house they all grew up in, and
Oh, my back.
oh,
Sorry.
God.
I was leaning over to
You'll never fear as much fear as I did when you see you like this chicken, yeah? Grab it by the head, swing it around like a nunchuck, and then rip its fucking head off. Pretty cool, huh? It's fucking horrifying, but it's also hilarious nowadays after the fact.
Sorry, I'm just like trying to like do something to like
Yeah.
contort my back so it stops hurting. I need to stop leaning over it. Ow. Okay, time to do the tub. Hooray! This is
The
gonna be so fun.
tub.
Cleaning bathrooms is actually kind of fun, as
Yeah.
long as you have not stop. As long as you have music playing. Granted, music fixes everything.
Or the music of words via me. So.
I guess that works too.
I
But
guess that works too. Okay.
it's worse. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Alright, Anna. I still cannot get over the fact that, I think, what was it? Yeah, I think it was during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. They brought out the government said, "Oh yeah, by the way, we were spying over you," and they just had drone footage of the incident, which was hilarious.
Well, I'm sorry. What incident?
The Kyle Rittenhouse court incident. Remember that happened a while back?
Is that a Canadian thing?
Nope, that happened in America, dipshit. And
What is? Okay, you act like Americans know what America's doing. We don't. We ignore everything.
That's fair. That's fair. And I just love that, like, oh yeah, they already knew. Then again, when you look at the U.S. government, even from us Northerners can realize your intelligence services know too much about everyone else's shit. And whenever
we know what I did today.
they probably did actually, because they always have a whistleblower says, oh yeah, what about this, and they leak documents like they did with the alien projects a while back that they're now announcing due to too many whistleblowers. That's why they're even announcing it, because there's been too much talk about it.
So they're not just doing that to distract us from all the other dumb stuff they've been doing.
Mixed with that, as well as there's already been too many whistleblowers. That's how they always have to do with something. They deal with, like, remember when they experimented on children to try and find out if psycho powers were real? They had to do a Senate meeting about that because there's too many people whistleblowing about that.
They did that?
Oh yes, they did. Listen, I don't forget.
Yeah, and we don't forget about something very specific.
What, 1812?
What? No, not that. Why do you always assume that I'm dissing Canadians?
Listen, we're protective of our own kind, all right?
But like the phrase "never forget" from you don't.
Yeah.
I know you're not American, but I would assume you know this.
Yeah, I know the towers. Yeah.
Ah, I see. Josh, are you home? Josh.
It appears Josh was had perhaps.
Tell us if he's home or not, because his truck is outside. I live in Texas, of course, with a truck, but
yeah.
His truck is outside, but I don't know if he's home. It's so dark, I can't see. Oh wait, actually.
Right. Let's see. No matter what, my brain still rattles its fucking head off. Like, oh yeah, aliens exist. Why has no one been talking about this? It's still
well, no, because I talked to you about it. We're like, we're just ignoring it. We don't really care.
Yeah,
which is odd because like it seemed like not even a month before everyone was screaming about aliens. Then the second the government admits they're real, everyone's just like, no, it's not important.
Yeah, because I mean, it's because we always think, oh yeah, it's something real, but when they really just bring in just like a few things, what everyone actually knows is like, wow, that's not actually much. This isn't really nothing insignificant. This is really insignificant.
It's also just not interesting. We don't care.
Then again, if it's more like, well, have you seen the spontaneous nature of humans? Like, oh yes, war. Like how during the Cold War there were so many times like a bear accidentally hit an alarm and they almost nuked Russia.
Yeah, but no, wasn't there a time where a submarine thought that the nuclear war had happened, and they almost should have launched a nuke in Florida?
Yeah.
But it didn't happen because of a single guy that didn't want to press the button.
Yeah, that fucking Chad. He's like, no.
Yeah. He's like, no, bro, we shouldn't do it. When the two other are coming,
no, it's not because he didn't think they shouldn't. He said they won't. Because he thought they were more human than their own people.
And the thing is he was right.
Yeah.
Nuclear war had not happened.
I think he got promoted after that.
Yeah, very glad that he didn't do it. We would all probably be dead.
Yeah, yeah. Just imagine aliens seeing this history and then sitting back in their chairs going, how about we not fuck with these guys? Because it doesn't matter how technologically inferior they are, a nuke is still a fucking nuke.
So I've seen a bunch of stories online about like humans interacting with aliens, and all of the stories are always about the aliens having this like customary thing that they do, and the humans just ignoring it. Like where a lot of species during war would just let their own kind die, and like medics were like to either take body parts or to like spray so that they get a good afterlife. And humans were the only species that actually try to keep them
Yeah.
alive.
Meanwhile, humans, move it, soap! We are leaving!
There's another one that like humans are the type of species where it's their name was don't give a frack, but it wasn't that word.
Yeah.
Or like instead of the Earth was destroyed and no one really cared.
Yeah.
Also, there's like bioweapons and blah. Actually, I can send some of them. They're just interesting.
The thing is,
It shows. It just shows that if we do ever interact with aliens, and we are very different from them, and how we see them. It's just, I just like to imagine what would possibly happen.
yeah, like it's like seeing the good comparison between aliens between us would probably be like a scientist in a lab making weapons versus a redneck making weapons for the military. Have you ever? Okay, I saw that they made grenades out of RPG rockets. They just
Oh my gosh, I've seen those.
yeah.
Oh, I just. Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
and also taping grenades towards a rocket just so they can more kill in the boom boom package. I don't know if it works. The Ukrainians think they do because they've been doing it the whole fucking war. That's the good comparison. We are those rednecks to the aliens. We're doing something. It works. It's horrifying.
And also, I saw in here one example that I saw. I don't know if you know this. I don't particularly enjoy Joe Rogan's content, but he was talking with I want to say it was Neil. He was talking with Neil deGrasse Tyson
Yeah.
about aliens, and specifically, what I thought interesting is that Joe was talking. I think it was Joe. I don't know. He was talking about a alien species that was actual plants where they did photosynthesis, and that they saw that our species was entirely just a planet of murder. Like that is exactly what farms are,
Mhm.
and like animals, and how it was just an entire planet of murder, and they would think we were savages. And it's how we think when we interact with other like cultures or other groups, where they're a lot more violent, and we see it in the savage to do the thing. Just that kind of thought process. I don't know. I'm talking gibberish.
There's
now.
one actually. That's a good comparison because there is one tribe in on our planet that's like on an island away from everyone. We can't go near it because they'll just throw spears at us. That is our comparison to that. Like we are those guys to the aliens because we would probably attack. Yeah, spears and nuclear weapons. Because it doesn't matter how advanced your flying ship is and how fast it can move. A nuke can just go off early and that shit will still be caught because radiation moves faster than light, bitch.
That there are types of weapons though that it was just this little this. It wasn't even really a missile. It was just this projectile that if moved at a certain percentage of the speed of light and it hit a planet, the entire planet would become inhabitable just immediately if a couple of them were thrown. I don't know what they were called, but basically that it was. If you just launch something fast enough, it will do enough damage. If you launch like 4 of them at a planet, like Earth size, it would become unlivable immediately.
Yeah.
And aliens would probably have weapons like that if they were actually like warlike. And that's only assuming that the aliens act as we do.
Yeah.
Because maybe they don't.
There's been my theory of how to deal with aliens, which is always assume they are always better than us in at least everything.
Well,
like one step, like yeah, just because it's easier to assume that you're underdog so you can plan for the future. But yeah, anyway, we were gonna say.
Sorry, it's always assumed that the aliens want to kill you as much as you want to kill them, or more. Usually more. Because the thing is if you are a species and you try to interact, that mess that message will not send instantly because of the distance,
Mm-hmm.
which could mean that whoever strikes first is the one who survives, which is that missile thing I was talking about. Whoever throws that first survives,
Yeah.
and the one that doesn't dies. And it may be this game of whoever attacks first wins, which means that the most violent might survive.
Yeah. And I
And
know
the
based on
peaceful
like the Expanse, which I would say is in the early seasons the most accurate sci-fi show to exist due to space travel, space combat, space communication, all that shite, most accurate. Due to it, from getting a message from one part of the solar system to the other, took days or hours. There's interference there. That's how we still have that IRL. We can't really change that unless we get something like newfangled space bullshit tech.
Imagine Mars ping. Oh.
Well, if they make it on their own planet with internet, so it'll be fine. But then again,
No,
if you try to
no, no,
do,
no.
imagine cross-planet servers.
I was gonna say those Fortnite servers playing on the Mars servers would be so bad.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, and I've always like read those like stories like kind of like you did, which is I think it was FY humanity fuck yeah stories,
Oh my
which
god. Oh, that was fun. I'm pretty sure I'm home alone right now. The truck is outside. I think maybe Josh might have went with the rest of the family.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go soon, which sucks. But
Mm.
I mean, this is important. I think. I don't know. I'm on something. I swear.
Yeah.
My darling.
I find it funny that every time we find anything, we think, can we turn this into a weapon? Like nuclear weapons. Like, oh yeah, we have nuclear power. Turn that into a weapon. Oh, you found gunpowder. That was a mining tool. Turn it to a weapon. Oh yeah, we got like metallurgy. Turn that into a weapon. Nanobots. We can use that to heal people. Turn it into a weapon.
Didn't we figure out how to use nuclear power? Not like as like, but we used we made nukes more. Sorry, not necessary. The reason that we use uranium instead of thorium, which is a much better element for nuclear power, is just because thorium can't make nukes and uranium can. Even though thorium is more efficient, more plentiful, easier to get, you don't have to enrich it, it's safer. The only reason you use uranium, which is objectively worse, is to make nuclear weapons,
Yes.
which was just really interesting to me, and it makes me really annoyed.
No, that
Because
one thought is what made aliens go, yeah, let's go to a different planet.
it's cleaner. There is no reason to not use it, and yet we use uranium, which makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
I still remember
It's
when
cheaper too.
they tried. Remember when China and America are making biological weapons into bullets?
Oh yeah. Mm.
Yeah, where they could, if you do survive getting shot, it will just infect you with a bacteria that's specifically made to attack your own race. Remember when China did that? They still have that, by the way, but I don't think it's working due to them not talking about it anymore. Meanwhile, the Americans do the same exact program, but it's actually working, and they're doing it for to help people instead of hurt people, which is amazing. Oh well.
Sorry. I almost choked on a pretzel. I have to breathe in air to swallow things,
Hmm.
and I was breathing in a pretzel, and it went down my windpipe.
Ooh.
uh, almost died there. You almost heard me choke through stream. That wouldn't have been fun.
Yeah, that when I wouldn't. Just like, do the Heimlich on yourself.
You know, I didn't wash my hands, and I was touching bleach. Probably shouldn't be eating pretzels right after touching bleach.
Yeah, bro. Bro, come on. Oh
Well,
god.
not gonna die, probably.
I'll still live to 40, maybe.
No, if anything, I'm living to like 20.
Hmm. Yeah. still think
Washing my hands.
I think if aliens were to meet us, I think they'll be like, should we what should we do? I have no idea, but they actually in the UN they have like a fucking representative to represent like humanity in talks. So like maybe we can try before shooting them. Because I think humanity itself would all agree, let's not do this unless North Korea the hermit points their rockets up and goes, shoot the tiny thing in the sky.
It depends on how similar the alien's development was to ours.
But to
Because
even
if
assume
we,
that an alien would develop similar to our own would be insane. So
I know,
yeah.
but assuming they do at least semi-similar, where they have the same like thought process as us towards aliens, they wouldn't attack us. Because I'm gonna be honest, if we found aliens and like they were semi-chill, I don't think we'd fight them.
Yeah.
And the thing is when we find lesser civilizations like ants or like let's say chimps have started like getting tools and stuff, we've been trying to save that stuff. So the aliens might do something similar.
Yeah. Like they haven't already been doing that with think we found.
Like and it might be something similar. How we try not to like contact animals in the wild, they may be doing that exact same thing with us. That would be super interesting. Like they're so advanced that they think we're just animals in the wild.
Or they're just
And
waiting
just
for us to
watching us.
advance to a point where they can actually communicate with them entirely.
But if they were so advanced that they would think that we're still primitive, like we're not even a civilization yet on their account, we're just animals. It's like how we see ants. We don't see them as a civilization most of the time. We see them as a pest.
Yeah.
And like some people think they're interesting.
Yeah. But if they're so prevalent, why are they hiding?
I'd be hiding. Oh.
That's the question. Why would they be hiding?
Oh, that's another theory. Either, like my theory, that they're just trying to stay out of contact because it would mess with the way that we interact with our environment, like how scientists try to avoid contact with wild species. Or it could be another thing, to where maybe every species that contacts outwards dies. I saw this on a Kerchigat video.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
if you know what that is.
I know what Kirksar is. I've watched all that
Mhm.
shit. Yeah, I know. Extend it up because it's better to stay hidden. Yeah.
Because if you don't stay hidden, maybe there's some big bad force that'll just kill you.
Yeah.
And oh no, not very good. Also, wasn't there like there was the antimatter video where like there's this potential. I want to say it's a theory that when antimatter hits matter, it converts all of that matter to not antimatter, strange matter, like strange matter stars. And that video melted my brain, but it was just cool. I'm talking pure gibberish now. Something happened to me. I
My
don't
brain
know what's going
had
on.
a random wavelength of like, oh yeah, if you're like, because if you go hunting, you know if it's quiet, deadly, that means a predator's in the area and all the prey has moved away, knowing it's dangerous. Imagine you put the same theory into space.
Huh, dead. There's a predator, and the thing is that humanity is yelling.
Yeah.
We're sending out signals to try and get attention.
Oh,
We're basically doing
Yeah, I gotta
that
go AFK. My grandmother's calling. Entertain the stream. I'll be right back.
Is really anyone even watching the stream? Is there anyone? I can't see. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Yodely dee, yodely do. I am the one that eats the shoe. Baba boy, 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 baba boy. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Da 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 da. Hmm. I am entertaining. Entertaining.
Alright, I have returned.
Okay, I totally entertained your chat and didn't just like do things.
You didn't just sing Cotton Eye Joe?
Sing Cotton Eye Joe. Poorly, very poorly. I don't know the song.
I don't either. I don't blame you.
I'm gonna send you a recipe for a mug cake.
Have you do you know The Expanse and how they made the ships?
Nope, haven't seen
Okay,
it.
so basically, how they made spaceships was not long, like how you make a building. They made tall, like a skyscraper.
Creepy.
Due to the missile, not missile, but the engine is at the bottom. As it pushes up, well, up in production of the ship, it creates an artificial gravity as it's flung one direction.
Stretch.
It's smart since you're going that direction and it creates an artificial gravity. Similar to how a space station would spin the ship in a way, well, it could similarly spin a ship in a way to create artificial gravity there. Since, by the way, wounds, as seen theoretically, couldn't really heal in 0G. That's why you need artificial gravity. Since you need things to stay together. Which means, technically, if you get cut, you can't really heal in 0G.
Does that mean if I broke a bone in space, it doesn't heal?
It might not
Just broken?
Yeah.
Tested that?
This is not really a concrete. This is a theory. Then again, I may be wrong on this. I don't claim to be an expert on 0G shit. All right.
How? Wait, hold on. I'm thinking how would your fluids move in zero gravity? Cause
actually,
how,
okay, that
what,
part. It's astronauts have actually seen they got stuffy and really stuffed up in the first few days. I think weeks maybe. Then their body just gets used to, okay, no 0G, okay, your body, you have to change, because, the way your body works, it pumps fluids up towards your head, because the gravity's pushing it down. So your body will have to recalibrate to push it down. That's why when the astronauts come back from space, they have to go through a intense reorganization and training to make their bodies work like a normal body on a planet, where it goes down instead of just all around.
once the astronauts get back, they're probably very dizzy because not as much blood is going to their brain.
And weak, due to how our bone density is caused due to our planet's gravity.
Get less dense.
As well as muscle, so yeah. That's why they, every single day, if you're an astronaut, you're training like a motherfucker. You are doing a lot of Olympic level shit. So yeah, it's...
He doesn't go shovel plow.
Yeah. It's so you don't... Oh, it's so for the return trip, you don't crack your rib cage open or crushed in your own... Ugh. It's hard to describe.
Body will be like, oh wait, we're not used to this rigorous thing, and then just splat. You turn into goo.
Okay, the best way to describe it is actually shown in The Expanse as they're exiting the atmosphere. This guy who grew up, his generations in 0G, 3 generations or so, they got really tall because what's limiting your size is gravity. This guy got 7 feet, maybe 8 feet tall, without gravity. Nothing limiting him. So, when he was going up, he decided, because he got left the strengths he was in, and his head went down towards his chest, and it crushed his heart, lungs, and torso, and snapped his neck as he went up, using the gravity of the planet to kill himself. So yeah, and that's a life without training or preparing your body for normal gravity. But he was already packed with, because it was seen in the story that they packed themselves with steroids and other supplements to try and give themselves bone density. So, even then... Oh, shit. And I really liked the series. Well, early on. Later on, it lost my attention, and when it was shut down early on, but due to some of the actors being horrible people. So, yeah. Well, one actor specifically. One actor. Also, in the show, The Expanse, it also shown Gatling guns in space. Well, not Gatling guns, but machine guns. But due to how a machine gun works, with how it pushes backwards, they had to add rockets on the back of the machine guns, so it doesn't throw the ship in one direction as it's firing.
Oh, that's funny. Hold on, wait, wouldn't the bullets then just go forever?
Yeah,
once they shot?
Yes.
Well, they're so small that if they land on a planet, the atmosphere, if there's an atmosphere on it, would just burn up.
Oh yeah.
It's so small.
Wouldn't do much.
So,
but if it hits some poor bastard, which is a very low possibility, It's like how in the orbit of Earth, there's a chance that the space station might fall or rise into one of the debris fields that's been caused due to all the rockets being sent up. That could just fucking whack an astronaut or the space station itself, killing everyone inside.
A major problem because the more we try to exit the planet, the more space debris gets up there, the harder it is to get out,
Which,
and we basically
yeah.
entrap ourselves
And
into a net.
admittedly,
Based on going hyper fast.
though how much I think Elon Musk is a bit of a quack, his reusable rockets send less debris into the atmosphere, so it makes a bit of sense.
Important to do that, so we don't just keep launching stuff into our
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Plus, it's also a lot
To make
cheaper.
ourselves safe. It is also a lot cheaper.
Drafnir says in the chat, Lekka is a nerd.
I thought you said black guy is a nerd.
Laka. And in his list for lounge, he joins chat, says Laka's a nerd, leaves chat, does not elaborate. That's it, that's all he said.
Check it. Where did he say this?
Right now, he said in the chat, because he just said in the lounge, on mute, so
Chat.
he just... Oh my god.
Nerd. I am. Oh, he's not. No. He's not in the lounge AFK. What are you talking about? He's not
He
there.
just left, he joined it, sent the... Oh, he said it again in the chat. Laka's a nerd.
One viewer, but I'm also well. Hold on, if I'm positive with that. Just increase it. Jafnir, no one loves you.
Oh, bro, hold up, man. Wait a minute,
What?
don't do that to
He
the
called
man.
me a nerd. Called me a nerd. He
But it's
deserves
accurate.
pain and stuff. What the heck? Oh, I thought. Jafnir, I call upon the Eldritch horror, Lovecraftian horrors to steal your cereal.
butter.
Not peanut butter.
Laka can't
I
read.
can read most of the time.
Most of the time. Hello, Jafnir.
Ah,
Jafnir, I can kind of read. Listen, man, I only mix up some words. Like I thought took was spelled Toke and not Took. I thought
that
it
is
was
the
spelled
wrong
with
kind
E.
of took.
I know. That's why it was whatever.
Hey, Jafnir, what's your opinion on aliens?
Aliens? Well, depends on what kind of aliens.
Smash.
What the fuck? Okay, I need... on my screen, I only have one thing to represent guest. I need another one. God damn it, hold up. Yeah, guest picture too. Fuck.
Hi in the microphone.
Make sure.
No, I need another
Okay.
one. Hold up. I could make another
Make
microphone.
sure he does not block mine. Make sure he does not block mine because
Guest
my image because I will be very angry.
to picture. There we go.
By the way, I didn't send anything.
Okay, hold on. Where is the fucking microphone? I think this is it.
Hey, I want you on my team.
There we go. I made a separate. Oh shit. Shit.
I have 6% back. No, why is it blocking mine? Oh, okay.
Hello, everybody. It is I, the microphone.
Yeah, you could use it like an what you use for your profile picture if you want. As that's what Leica did.
Jafnir, I'm gonna drop kick you.
Jesus.
You
Okay.
cannot drop kick the microphone. I don't have legs.
I can drop. Well, I can still drop kick you without legs.
How about
Well,
we
you know
not
what?
fight each other here?
I will still be standing.
Alright.
I swear.
Right. Jeez. Alright, let's move to a more subject I think all three of us can maybe talk about, perhaps.
1600s history.
1600s history? I admittedly don't know much
The
about.
Napoleonic Wars.
Did I just crowd
Oh,
up? Did I
Napoleonic
The
crash your
Napoleonic
podcast?
Wars, alright.
I don't know.
What?
Does Jafnir know about the Napoleonic Wars?
No, but I'll do some research real quick.
Nope, but I will in a minute. That's what he's... Yeah, God. Remember when Napoleon said about, I think it was the the Tsar of Russia, that if he was a woman that he'd marry her?
They'd marry her. Yeah, they had like the largest bromance ever.
Until it was broken.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was some art of them kissing on a what I don't know on like something of water.
What?
And they had such a good
Oh, yeah, they
alliance.
did,
I don't know
yeah.
why Russia broke the blockade. It was such a dumb thing.
Up, and he's
Like, I know
gone.
his economy was bad and his people were starving to death, but like, come on, Napoleon's the goat. You know he would invade you if you broke the blockade.
Actually, Napoleon was a really good leader for his time. And I don't have content, so
He
I'm just
was.
gonna watch. Alright, Jafnir, that's all good.
No!
It's...
That's you to make fun of.
Don't make fun of him! Unless you have an entire list made up already. Just, you gotta prepare that shit before you unleash the machine gun of insults.
Jafnir, you're short and you're short and that's the only insult I have. And
Yeah.
I know Jafnir is shorter than me.
Wait, how
I know
tall
that
are
for a
you?
fact. 5'11".
Oh, so about same height as me or a little bit shorter. I don't know. I don't measure myself. About 6 foot, if not. Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm not getting any taller. Whenever I'm walking around and I secretly am wearing a hat that has a brick so that I stop growing.
Mm. That's not how that works, but okay.
Hold on. If gravity is what makes you grow, does that mean the heavier you are,
Negative.
the less
That's
tall
not
you
what
grow?
I meant. Gravity is what limits your height.
Well, no, I know. But the more weight you have, the more gravity affects you. Like if you weighed like potentially like if someone weighed 400 pounds and someone weighed 100 pounds, would the 100-pound person go taller then because less gravity is affecting them?
Okay, that I do not know, but I do know that a 400 person will not be moving that quick. Because also genetics.
Well, that depends because it could all be muscle and then they'd just be a walking brick of meat.
I don't know. But I do know if you were to grow up on Mars, you would be actually taller than people on Earth due to them having lower gravity.
Although probably they would actually survive a rocket ship that coming off of Earth.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
think that they would still have the bone density, so like a little bit less.
Yeah.
But
If you
they
were,
wouldn't die.
But if you're like an
zero
orbiter who
gravity is
just
much
lived in
different
0G
from
or 0.3G, because that's the average of like travel space, 0.3G, that shit distills not, it's like, it's sub-gravity, you don't survive. But sub 3G, they also shown, because they don't have the budget to be in 0G all the time, so they had little lights in the boots that said magnets. Not said magnets, but represented magnets on the boots, which made sense. They got magnetic boots to travel around the ship in 0G or in combat. Since, yeah. Also, ships were shown to be targeting in more kilometers in distance. Well, I think it was hundreds of kilometers in distance away from
Kilometers.
Hundreds of miles. It doesn't matter. Space is a large place, and if you're gonna ram or go. Oh no.
One of my headphones died. No. Thankfully, I have two of them.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I need to be like taken out, like the back shot. I don't know what's happening.
Oh god. Okay, so I've seen a lot of media. They show like ships ramming each other. Have you seen how big space is? You're not ramming for shit. The closest you're gonna get is maybe 10 miles, and even then. Like.
Oh, well, what happened? Where am I? Oh, I mean your mom. I mean dad.
I love you trying to correct yourself. Like, wait, no, you don't have a mother. Nah, fucker. Anyway.
I meant to say your dad, but I mixed it up because I'm like, oh, I can't say his dad. I have to say his mom. I don't know. I did this thing where I intentionally tried to make the correct joke and made the wrong joke because I overthought it.
Yeah. I'm still excited because I'll be going to a truck and pole derby tomorrow, which will be fun. I'm just gonna hope you know what that is.
A trucker derby?
A truck and pole derby. A truck and tractor.
Is that where you pull men?
No, it's where trucks and tractors.
Not correct word. Not the correct word. Wrong word. I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, no. I wish. No, it was just a bunch of tractors and
Well,
trucks
anyway.
modified to pull a heavy like thing that's made to cement itself to the ground, and they pull it and it makes a loud roaring. Like you can feel the vibrations in the ground. Your teeth are rattling within your skull. It's fucking amazing. I'll be going with my grandmother. Yes, she's the one who's always like,
I love
let's go to these fucking mind fucking rattling things. Yeah, balls.
What Jack can go?
I don't know. You got things to do.
I don't know what happened. Once I talk to someone for long enough, my brain just turns to mush.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that much within the
Hmm.
theme, so
Yeah, I think there's sorry, I was thinking of how many things during the visual novels could have been clipped. I'm just like, oh no, 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 because it's embarrassing.
I mean, all I really clipped was I think the daddy thing you said, and I think that
Daddy.
was
Yeah,
it.
that thing.
Why did you say it again?
I don't
Clip
know.
that.
I
I
don't know.
can't clip on mobile. Darn it.
Why? Why would you want to clip that part, eh?
Cause it's funny.
Yeah. I don't know.
What is this recipe I just got sent? Bro, hold on, I gotta send this dude. This is so cursed.
Here is the
What's this
recipe for anthrax. No, pipe
No,
bomb.
not that kind of recipe.
For pipe bomb.
How do you smoke a fish?
There's two ways to describe it: the Floridan way and the Texan way.
There is another.
All right.
There's three actually.
Three actually. No, I remember someone said, "How do you smoke a fish?" First picture is smoking a fish, cooking it. Second picture, a
Second
gun is to a
picture is-
fish.
Run.
Mm,
I sent you the recipe, by the way.
yeah.
Why is there milk? I don't understand. Why is there white onions with milk? What is this?
Oh, yeah, because you can use
Diced
some milk
carrots?
instead of water, so it's good.
Diced carrots, and well, why is there both vegetable and chicken broth?
Why not? It's good shit.
With milk. Why is there milk? That's the one thing that's
Okay.
making me
Have
like,
you ever
cringe.
had a Slovak dish before?
No.
You don't understand how
Scare
much
me.
potato is in that until they tell you the recipe. But also, it's so fucking good utilitarian. It doesn't look appetizing, but it's fucking delicious, my boy.
I love potatoes, man.
Yeah, like you can dice them, you can stir them, you can put them in a stew, you can boil them, you can eat them
Oh,
raw.
no.
You can just cook it raw. It's just fucking fine.
Cook 'em rotten?
Oh yeah, cooking rum.
I thought you said rotten, like cook it rotten.
No,
Like-
what? No rotten.
Oh,
No
like-
rum.
Rum. Bro, you cooking them in rum?
Why not?
Like, is the alcohol from Pirates of the Caribbean?
What the fuck did you just say in my presence?
What? I'm so confused.
Okay, Liz, I said what the fuck did you just say in my presence? Because rum is my choice of drink. I say that because I look to my side, I see 3 full bottles of rum there, just sitting there.
Why are you drinking rum?
Because I like rum, and Cuba Libres involve rum, and Cuba Libre is my drink of choice, due to its historical significance.
Is that legal?
Scottish, motherfucker.
I'm not gonna ask. And it's technically legal to drink alcohol in Texas as long as you have guardian supervision.
Same. It's
Oh,
legal if you have
okay.
guardian supervision. That's why I'm
That
not
makes
drinking right now.
I have homework I should be doing.
Yeah.
But I could be on a podcast that has no
Yeah.
viewers, and if there's one viewer, it is me. By the way, I'm watching the stream.
Also, I remember I was looking up a little bit of information. Remember when the brain stops developing at the age of 25? So,
Uh huh.
and I was looking at like
Why I started drinking
alcohol.
at
I
3.
remember some places they were thinking of changing their drinking laws to 25 to match it, and I'm gonna say, can you fucking not? Because drinking age here in Ontario where I live is 19. In Quebec it's 18. By the way, if you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna turn 18 and go to Quebec and drink, it's not worth it. Their beer is shit.
But you could
You
smuggle beer in from a different territory and bring it into Quebec
it's not worth
and
it.
drink it there. Or
Anyway, it's like you can taste the
French.
French. It's horrible.
Well, French wine is pretty good.
I can make that shit at home. It's just as good. Because my father likes to make wine at home just for the sake of making it a lot more alcoholic than it should be. Just for the sake of, I got a party gift, even though it's pretty much whiskey at this point.
I'm okay. I think I have got brain damage from smelling too much bleach.
Yeah.
I can't say bleach because of the bridge. Do you know what a bridge is in like the mouth for like
Yeah.
dental stuff?
Yeah.
I got one of those in, so I sound weird.
Yeah. I remember the funny thing about me and my father is that we sound very much alike. And
Very similar.
very much alike. Okay, so the only difference is that he sounds a tiny bit deeper, and that's it. And even then, it's very
I
non-noticeable.
must disappear now. I must disappear now. The FBI's on me. I gotta go. I gotta go. Today.
Alright then. Yeah. The FBI finally caught him. My boy will be lost. Oh well. The FBI finally got him, boys! The FBI might be on to me next! Joke's on them, I'm not even in the same country. I think. Alright. There, oh shit. I fucking fell out of the recycling bin. I gotta. Where the hell did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Sit back in the desk. Alright. Alright, folks. Just cracking my neck here, because holy shit. Realizing how fucking far my neck goes is not normal. Because I've been told that a lot, and very loudly. There we go. No cracks. Fucking. It's like you crack your neck so hard you just snap it. Just twist it, snap it, bop it, snap, snap, crackle, fucking pop. All right, I got charging phone. I forgot to fucking re-plug this in when I got up. What? I came back and got. Oh god damn it! What the fuck? Why does he just have a spoon here? Okay. My father just has a spoon just laying around for no reason other than having a spoon there. I don't understand it. I don't know. And I do not question it because I'm not going to get a logical answer. It's like why we have a pocket watch in between us to see that act as a clock. It is because it is our pocket watch because it is the Soviet way, comrades. Stealing is not the Soviet way. I love Company of Heroes. I would do a game of that, but also I'm shit at it, as well as it's just, I don't know, not my cup of tea. Personally, not my cup of tea, to be honest. I sound very British. But hey, we've gone on for 2 hours 38. We usually don't go past 4 again because, dear God, I'm boring. And I don't know. I might have to go off early instead of going for 4 hours or so, because I, of course, need to get ready for a tractor pull tomorrow, which means getting all the snacks and beverages ready because, So, that means when we hit like the 240 mark, I might actually end the stream, which means I'll be like in 10 minutes, 10 seconds and a minute. Not 10 minutes, fuck that. So, anyway, that's been having a wonderful guest briefly for Drafnir guests of Drafnir as well as Lika. Laka. Okay, this ball does not do me justice for how much I actually jump around like a moron. But oh well. Just lika. Yep, there we go. I confused the AI. It just halts and then goes back to position. Okay, this. You can actually hear my headset fucking rattling around trying to stay on my head without falling off. Oh well. I may at some point fill that spot next to me with an actual living person. And by that, I mean by living person, I refer to another VTuber, aka someone else using another one of these models. Yeah, it's a bit difficult sometimes. Oh well, I'm just gonna use. I also have this now, stand in for someone who doesn't have a picture. So yeah, I stopped using that due to not being as stylish as the one down there on the table. But hey, I also have just this one for standing for people's profile pictures. Just hot swap between others. Anyway, we are at 2:40, and that is my time to hit the sack to say. Anyway, but no, I will. I didn't have anything planned today, so it's great that I could pop in and actually steered us to actually talk about stuff because I work better with someone else, even though it can be tiring talking to people. That's because I'm an introvert and people naturally are my kryptonite. So, yeah. Then again, great person and great entertainment. So I hope to see them next stream, as well as all you folks at home watching the VOD, as well as the streams, at least ones who stick around for it. Anyway, I'll put in screen up shortly, and I'll see you all next Monday when I do probably Ravenfield. I'll be honest with you folks, that game has stuck with me. Or I'll do maybe I'll quit my soberness and go back to Left 4 Dead. Either way, see you then. Goodbye, folks. Ah.